Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. I, the summoner of the dead, will blast the gods. Chapter 61. Lynn Kyer's attention was immediately attracted by the ruby-like gem in front of her. The crystal core of the Goblin King shimmered like a perfect ruby, making people dazzling. Zhang Chen handed this treasure to Lynn Kyer, smiled and said, "It's for you." Lynn Kyer noticed at a glance that this crystal core was different. When she held it in her hand, she felt a warmth spread quickly throughout her body, dispelling the coldness around her. Her detection technique was also used with the appearance of the crystal core. After the detection, she asked excitedly, "Is this the core of the Goblin King?" Zhang Chen nodded. Lin Kyer had given it an expensive skill scroll before. When he revealed the Goblin King's crystal core, he thought of giving it to Lin Kyer. Zhang Chen didn't want to owe others too many favors. Lin Kyer held this ruby-like crystal core and admired it so much that her eyes lit up. "Do you know its value?" Zhang Chen shook his head, looking unsure. When he first learned about this crystal core at the exchange, it was valued at 100,000 gold coins. But later Luo Tian told him that it was worth at least 500,000 gold coins. Zhang Chen felt in his heart that it might be worth more, otherwise the young president of the Emperor's Heaven Guild would not value it so much. He mobilized his troops and led people to seize the cooldown time of the dungeon to brush this thing, but Zhang Chen finally exploded. Even though the death mine is just a low-level copy, the difficulty for Zhang Chen to clear it is also nightmare difficulty. Such difficulty can easily defeat a large number of people. Lin Kyer continued to explain. "This is the core item of the Goblin King's ring. It is boss jewelry and is of high value. If it is traded, the price should be around 10 million. 10 million gold coins. It sounds really scary at first." Zhang Chen was slightly surprised. 10 million is a huge sum of money for ordinary people, but Luo Tian said it was worth at least 500,000. How many times the difference? The Emperor's Guild's approach is too unkind. They may be deceiving those who don't understand, trying to get this valuable prop with 100,000 gold coins. 10 million gold coins is a number that ordinary people cannot achieve in this life. But for Lin Kyer, 10 million may not be a big deal. After all, she can easily give away middle-level skill scrolls worth tens of millions. And when he gave it to Zhang Chen, he didn't even blink an eyebrow. It could be said that he just gave it away. Lin Kyer happily accepted the gift and said thank you. Zhang Chen smiled slightly and looked at her with satisfaction, as long as he could accept it. Later, Lin Kyer took Zhang Chen to get familiar with the environment of Shenlong University. There are Imperial Exchange and University Exchange in the university. The former uses gold coins for transactions, while the latter uses points. Some items are not available for purchase on the Imperial Exchange and can only be found on the University Exchange. In addition to the exchange, Shenlong University also has dozens of skill training fields distributed in various locations in the school. Using the skill training ground is not free, it costs points. The Shenlong University Library, which is said to be comparable to the Imperial Library, contains a large number of information books. In addition to some books that can be viewed for free, some advanced materials also require points. All in all, it is difficult to move forward in the school without points, which can only ensure that you do not starve to death. Under Lin Kyer's introduction, Zhang Chen became familiar with the school. In the Academic Affairs Office, Zhang Chen completed the final admission procedures. In fact, Hong Jishi had already handled most of his procedures for him. Also because of Hong Jishi's relationship, the teachers in the Academic Affairs Office were very polite to Zhang Chen. In the Academic Affairs Office, Zhang Chen asked for information about Zhang Ruo. After inquiry, it was found that there was indeed Zhang Ruo's enrollment record. But now the information about her is completely blank. When Zhang Chen came out of the Academic Affairs Office, there was obvious worry in Zhang Chen's eyes. Lin Kyer comforted, "Zhang Ruo is your family, right? Sister." Zhang Chen whispered. He didn't understand why Zhang Ruo's information was blank. There are admission records, indicating that Zhang Ruo did enter Shenlong University. Lin Kyer said, "Actually, it's normal for the data to be blank." Zhang Chen looked over, hoping to get the answer from Lin Kyer. It's possible that she went to perform special tasks issued by the school. Some tasks need to be kept secret, and the information will not be available during the period. It's also possible that she has left the university. I don't mean dropping out, but joining a college affiliated with the university. There are many colleges under the university. They seem to be under the jurisdiction of the school, but in fact they are relatively independent. For example, the most famous one is Dragon Race Academy. In addition, there are Shenlong Academy, Fatian Academy, etc. There are more than a dozen academies like this. If they were added, the information would also be blank. So you don't have to worry. Your sister may have joined a certain academy. Zhang Chen felt a little relieved after listening to Lin Kaier's explanation. He had already arrived at Shenlong University, although he could not find Zhang Ruo immediately. But now that I'm here, I can always find it. He remembered that the last time Zhang Ruo contacted him was 3 months ago. In the past 3 months, there has been no news from her. Maybe he was actually performing a certain mission. Okay, don't worry, it'll be fine. Lin Kaier comforted Zhang Chen with a smile. The smile was as warm as the sun, and it also infected Zhang Chen. Thanks. Lin Kaier giggled and said, thank you for nothing. Come on, let's get down to business. I'm here today not only to familiarize you with the school, but I also have a mission. In half a day, they just walked through the common areas of the school. The school is very large and the common areas take up less than 1/10 of the school. There are also many colleges in the school, and people who are not from the colleges cannot enter at all. Qianlong Academy. There were many people inside, seemingly discussing something. Lin Kaier walked in with Zhang Chen. Kaier is back. When a tall woman saw Lin Kaier, she immediately came up to her. Lin Kaier smiled and said, Sister Hongshu, I'll bring you here. The woman looked at Zhang Chen. Is this the one Lord Hongshen was talking about? It's him. Lin Kaier naturally pulled Sister Hongshu and introduced Zhang Chen, the #1 scholar in the country this year. Sister Hongshu, our captain. Sister Hongshu introduced herself generously. Hello, my name is Fang Hongshu, level 23, Elf Knight. Zhang Chen said softly. Zhang Chen, level 17, Summoner of the Dead. I don't know if it's because he changed his job to become a necromancer for a while, but Zhang Chen's overall temperament seems to be much colder than before. When Fang Hongshu heard Zhang Chen's brief self-introduction, she nodded. In fact, she didn't like talkative people either. Zhang Chen speaks concisely and to the point, and looks calm, making him a reliable person at first glance. After Zhang Chen introduced himself, he stopped talking. Fang Hongshu kept a calm expression, but the faces of several others showed a little surprise. Only level 17, are you kidding me? Even if you want to bring someone with you, you can't just find a cat or a dog. A man holding a staff walked in haughtily and made a disdainful sound. His attitude was extremely arrogant, and he seemed to disregard everything around him. Lin Kaier showed an unhappy expression. Lei Ren, be careful what you say. Zhang Chen is the #1 scholar in the country. But Lei Ren disagreed. He sneered. It's just the #1 scholar in the country. Compared with us, the #1 scholar in the country is nothing. It's not like I haven't seen those national champions in the past. They all look like rubbish. It's simply embarrassing to say it. He was extremely arrogant and seemed to have no regard for Zhang Chen or the top pick in the country. This emotion was also transmitted to other people present. They all showed expressions of deep understanding, as if Lei Ren was right, the top pick in the country was not worth mentioning at all. On their side, such a top pick is really not the same thing. Lin Kaier angrily retorted. Lei Ren, you talk like farts, they stink. Lei Ren snorted coldly and ignored Lin Kaier. He continued to say arrogantly, your name is Zhang Chen, right? I know you were introduced by Master Hong Shen. Don't think that just because you are related to Master Hong Shen, you can do whatever you want. In our Qianlong team, what matters is strength. It's okay to bring you one more person for this trial, but please shut up and don't speak, and it's best not to make any noise, let alone drag us down, otherwise I will be the first to be rude to you. After saying that, he still looked aloof, and his nostrils were almost raised to the sky. This kind of arrogance is called arrogance at best, but is not mentally retarded at worst. She is not as good as Lu Qingyu, the eldest daughter of the Liu family, nor is she like this guy named Lei Ren, who looks like his brain has been severely damaged. Zhang Chen felt that this guy was a bit too arrogant, so he stood up for Lin Kaier and said, retarded. Lei Ren's expression changed drastically, and he shouted, presumptuous. He immediately displayed his skill and released the flames of the staff in his hand, and huge energy fluctuations swept out. Lin Kaier immediately stepped in front of Zhang Chen and warned, Lei Ren, you dare to take action. Fang Hongshou also walked up to Lei Ren and tried to stop him. Lei Ren, stop. Under the obstruction of the two men, Lei Ren finally snorted coldly and put away the flame on the staff. HMPH, for the sake of Sister Hongshou, I'll let you go today. As he spoke, he glared at Zhang Chen fiercely. He looked at Zhang Chen, his face full of resentment, but he didn't speak again. Fang Hongshou turned around and said to Zhang Chen, we will set off at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and gather here. The specific content of the trial will be told to you tomorrow. This is also the rule of the trial. In order to ensure the effectiveness and fairness of the trial participants will be notified of the content at the beginning. Zhang Chen nodded to express his understanding. I understand. Let's go, Zhang Chen, I'll take you to buy some things first to prepare for the trial. Lin Kaier pulled Zhang Chen away to buy the necessary things and make preparations. Watching Zhang Chen and Lin Kaier leave, Fang Hongshou also sighed. Looking at Lei Ren, I felt a little uneasy. This guy was becoming more and more convinced of Ma Yuan. Fang Hongshou stayed to talk to Lei Ren alone, and said to him, I know you have grievances, but personal grievances cannot affect the trial, and he was introduced by Lord Hong Shen, so you should be careful. Lei Ren said dissatisfiedly, I am sensible, but I am a little angry. Even if you have to bring people, you must bring useful people. What is the profession of a necromancer? Have you heard of it? Fang Hongshou shook his head. He is the top pick in the country. Although the top pick in the country is nothing to us, there must be something special about being the top pick. Someone on the side interjected. The necromancer seems to be a new profession that just appeared this year. It is said that it is the only profession. Lei Ren still disagrees. Basically, a new profession appears every few years, and most of them turn out to be garbage. Lin Kaier pulled Zhang Chen to the exchange and said as she walked, don't fight with that guy, he is a lunatic and it's not worth it. Zhang Chen said softly, I've only heard of dogs biting people. I've never heard of people biting dogs. Ha ha. Lin Kaier was amused, but she didn't expect Zhang Chen to have such a side. The two came to the Imperial Exchange. Zhang Chen quickly sold all the items he got in the Death Mine dungeon. He did not choose to consign it. Submit the materials to the recycling task in the exchange. Sold the weapons and equipment obtained directly to the exchange. Weapon grades are black iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and have legendaries on them, mythical. Bronze is only an entry-level weapon, suitable for professionals from level 10 to level 20, and is not worth much. Basically the price of each weapon is around 10,000. After Zhang Chen emptied his storage space, he got 230,000 gold coins. Although it wasn't much, it was enough for him to use for a while. Lin Kaier said, I'm going to have a trial tomorrow. Buy some red and blue medicine. The red and blue medicines in her mouth are actually healing potions and magic potions. Healing medicine can be used to treat injuries. Because the medicine in the bottle is red, it is called red medicine by professionals. The same is true for the magic potion, named because the potion is blue, and is used to restore mental power. The two potions can be said to be the most commonly used consumables by professionals. Elementary Life Potion can be used to treat injuries. It is suitable for level 20 and below. The cooling time is 1 hour. Basic Divine Medicine, which can be used to restore mental power. It is suitable for level 20 and below. The cooling time is 1 hour. Both potions cost 1,000 gold coins. Following Lin Kaier's suggestion, Zhang Chen bought 10 bottles each. 20,000 gold coins were spent. Zhang Chen spent another 200,000 gold coins to buy 2 basic skill scrolls. There are only 10,000 gold coins left. It's really like spending money like water. Then the two went to Shenlong University's exchange and bought a communicator with 100 points. The communicator looks like a watch and is easy to wear on the hand. It is a must-have for every student. The two of them have added friends so that they can call and communicate at any time. Lin Kyer shook her little hands, revealing her skin as white as snow. From now on I can harass you anytime and anywhere. Zhang Chen looked at Lin Kyer, who looked like a flower and butterfly, and he also showed a smile. He also didn't expect that this girl he had just met by chance in the suburbs would now become an alumnus of Shenlong University with him. I just don't know how old Lin Kyer is, but she seems to know so much about things in Shenlong University. She must have been studying there for several years. After continuing to communicate with Lin Kyer for a while, Zhang Chen also learned a lot of things that were unclear before. According to Lin Kyer, there was another participant in this trial who was Lei Ren's younger brother. But because of Hong Shen's intervention, Lei Ren's younger brother was squeezed out of the spot, so Lei Ren was full of disgust towards Zhang Chen. It was because Zhang Chen was the only one dissatisfied with the matter of quotas that he had the attitude just now. Although Lin Kyer didn't know the specific content of the trial, she knew that this trial was very important and had specific requirements for the level, which could not be too high or too low. The information she knew was extremely limited, and Zhang Chen couldn't learn much from her. Everything would have to wait until tomorrow to be revealed. Zhang Chen would naturally not take the unpleasantness that happened today seriously. Zhang Chen didn't take Lei Ren seriously, he was full of confidence. In Zhang Chen's eyes, people like Lei Ren were just like clowns, and he ignored them directly. In the face of absolute strength, Zhang Chen has absolute confidence. He believes that he will not be weaker than any professional below level 30. In the small dormitory, the light is as bright as day. Zhang Chen was trying to activate a primary skill scroll, and his body was wrapped in a ball of light. But a few minutes later, the light ball disappeared, and Zhang Chen sighed. He had not successfully mastered the new skill. Using a skill scroll does not guarantee 100% awakening of a skill. Even if it is awakened, it may not be a new skill, but may be an old skill that has been mastered. In fact, this kind of thing is not uncommon among professionals and happens from time to time. Zhang Chen knew that this was a normal situation. As he mastered more and more skills, the probability of learning new skills would also decrease. In this case, the only way to solve the problem is to use skill scrolls in large quantities. There is no other way. A primary skill scroll only costs 100,000 gold coins, which is not expensive. Even if 100 are used, it only costs 10 million gold coins. However, middle-level skill scrolls require 10 million gold coins each, and if used in large quantities, the price will increase significantly. I can only pray for better luck when it comes to middle-level skill scrolls, and I can get the skills I want every time. Zhang Chen had 2 primary skill scrolls in hand. The first one failed, so he used the second one. The ball of light appeared again, surrounding him. He gradually felt his body heat up, and a strange aura emerged from his body. He had experienced this feeling before, and he felt slightly happy, a good sign. This feeling is that I have learned a new skill. Zhang Chen thought excitedly. This time the skill scroll was not wasted. Acquire the skill. Slowing Curse. Slowing Curse Level 1. Curse the enemy within 5 meters, reducing the enemy's speed by 5 kr, lasting 1 minute. Amplified through talents. The curse range has been increased from 5 meters to 100 meters, an increase of 20 times. The slowing effect has also been increased by 20 times, which can slow down the target by twice as much, including attack speed and action speed. In this way, the enemy's attack power is almost doubled. And it lasts up to 20 minutes. A magical skill, another magical skill. Zhang Chen studied the slowing curse. My skills can be divided into summoning system, attack system, and curse system. I don't know if other systems will be added. Curse-based skills can greatly weaken the enemy. Not only the safety is greatly increased, but also one's own attack power is increased in disguise. No matter which series, they are all very powerful. After studying the skills, he spent his mental energy to summon 4 skeleton warriors, and then drank a bottle of primary spirit divine medicine. Mental strength began to recover quickly. It takes 10 minutes to restore 100 points of mental power before the effect of the potion disappears. Knowing the effect of the potion, Zhang Chen began to enter a meditative state. It takes 100 points of mental power to drink 1 bottle in 1 hour. For his 1000 points of mental power, it only accounts for 1/10. If you rely solely on medicine to recover, it will take 10 hours. Overall, It's not much faster than meditation. If meditation is combined with potions, Zhang Chen calculated and found that the efficiency would not increase much. Interrupting meditation again and again to drink potions will greatly affect the effectiveness of meditation. The trouble is not worth the gain. The communicator emits pleasant music, pulling Zhang Chen out of his meditative state. Only then did he remember that when he was in the logistics department today, Lin Kyer suggested that he exchange 100 points for a communicator. The ringtone was set by Lin Kyer. Lin Kyer was the only one in Zhang Chen's communicator. Get up, the sun is shining on your butt. As soon as the call was connected, Lin Kyer's quirky voice came. I'm downstairs. Come down quickly and have breakfast together. We'll set off after eating. Good. Lin Kyer bought a lot of food. I don't know how long it will take this time, so I need to prepare more food. Otherwise, like last time, I almost starved to death. Luckily you have sweet potatoes. Zhang Chen laughed dumbly. Even if there are steamed buns, I won't eat them, but I still want to eat sweet potatoes. Zhang Chen followed silently and paid. He spent 10,000 gold coins and bought enough food to last 2 people for a month. Fortunately, the storage space is not small and can be accommodated. The consumption of Shenlong University is really high, and money is spent like water. 10,000 gold coins, if placed in Baiyun City, would be enough for Zhang Chen to eat for several years. The Chinese Hongshou people from Qianlong Academy are already waiting. Not only Fang Hongshou and others, but also many people in the college formed their own teams. Lin Kyer pulled Zhang Chen over. Fang Hongshou looked at the time and said seriously, "Don't walk around after the teleportation is over." This was not her first trial, and she obviously had a lot of experience. Lei Ren stared at Zhang Chen with disgust. "Boy, don't hold back, otherwise I won't be polite to you." Lin Kyer snorted coldly. "Just don't hold back." Fang Hongshou felt a headache. No matter what conflicts or thoughts you have, put them aside after the trial. You all should know the importance of this trial. Now everyone, please introduce your profession. As the captain, she must unite the team at this time. Even if there is only superficial solidarity, it must be done. Otherwise, it is better to give up on this trial. Zhang Yang, level 20, Prophet. Lu Kui, level 20, Elf Elder. Prophets and elf elders are both auxiliary professions, and both are rare auxiliary professions. The prophet mainly increases various states. If a team has a high-level prophet and the prophet has sufficient skills, the team's combat power can be at least doubled. Elf elders are a nanny-type profession, specializing in treatment and simple control of monsters. Under Fang Hongshou's gaze, Lei Ren reluctantly said, "Lei Ren, level 21, Warlock." Like the elemental mage, the warlock also belongs to the mage profession and is also a rare profession. The skills of both sides overlap and are different. Lin Kyer, level 19, Shadow Assassin. Zhang Chen, level 17, Summoner of the Dead. Fang Hongshou, level 23, Elf Knight. Fang Hongshou glanced at everyone. "I'll say it again, this trial must be united. If anyone dares to delay in the trial, don't blame me for being rude." Fang Hongshou looked serious, and even Lei Ren pricked up his ears at this time. Lin Kyer smiled and said, "Don't worry, Sister Hongshou, we will definitely not affect the trial." A giant teleportation array began to appear in the sky. Qianlong Academy, start the teleportation trial. Fang Hongshou's face showed a hint of determination and he shouted in a deep voice. Zhang Chen secretly praised him, saying that he was worthy of being the captain, and there was a sense of heroism in his words. Zhang Chen raised his head and looked up, and immediately saw a huge tower shadow emerging in the sky. The huge tower reached the sky and the earth, which was amazing. Lin Kyer whispered, "It's the Divine Dragon Tower." It can only be said that this effect is really shocking. He has not seen the Shenlong Tower since he entered Shenlong University. He was thinking of finding a chance to ask Lin Kyer before, but he did not expect that it would appear in the sky at this moment. Only then did Zhang Chen realize that this tower was not located on the surface like a traditional building. The top of the Shenlong Tower shot out a dazzling light, covering the Qianlong Academy, and the students in the academy were teleported to the trial site at the same time. To teleport so many people at once, one can imagine how powerful this formation is. It can only be said that it is worthy of being called Shenlong University, the apex-level institution of the Dragon Kingdom, with a profound foundation. The transmission process lasted for more than 10 seconds. According to the time, the trial location should be quite far away from Shenlong University. The sound of waves could be heard in his ears. Zhang Chen was very familiar with the sound of waves because Baiyun City was close to the sea. He was convinced that the trial site was located by the sea. He trusted his instincts to be right. His feet touched the ground again, and his eyes quickly adjusted to the dazzling sunlight. This gave Zhang Chen the illusion that he was back at the beach in Baiyun City. Lin Kaier's face looked a little pale. She grabbed Zhang Chen's arm and said dissatisfiedly, "I feel dizzy. It's really uncomfortable to teleport over long distances." Fang Hongshou on the side also spoke when she saw everyone had arrived. "The mermaid dungeon will only drop 3 mermaid tears every year," Fang Hongshou explained. Mermaid tears can be used to make special equipment, which is of great value and is a very treasured material and prop. The location of Mermaid Island is not within the territory of our Shenlong Empire, so every year not only our Shenlong Empire professionals come to Mermaid Island, but also people from other countries. She continued. This time our entire Qianlong Academy is dispatched. There are 10 teams in total. We are the number 2 team. This time we not only have to compete with the students from Qianlong Academy, but also with professionals from other countries. Fang Hongshou's expression became extremely serious and she explained the entire situation in detail. All the team members also cheered up and changed their previous casual look. Lin Kaier asked worriedly, "What should we do? If we meet other teams, will we kill people?" Her eyes turned to Zhang Chen involuntarily, because he had committed suicide himself. The professionals who were chasing her to snatch things were killed by Zhang Chen, and they were killed neatly and without delay. At the mention of the possibility of killing, everyone else became nervous, but Zhang Chen remained calm. After all, they are all around the age of 18 or 19 and have never actually killed anyone, so psychologically they will not be able to accept it for a while. Fang Hongshou shook her head and reassured everyone, usually not. Similar situations have happened before. Most of the time, they just stopped the other party from entering at the entrance of the dungeon. They rarely actually killed people. Hearing what Fang Hongshou said, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Fang Hongshou continued, "But we can't take it lightly. Deaths have happened before. Okay, let's get ready to enter Mermaid Island. Zhang Yang, add status." Zhang Yang responded and immediately started to use his skills. Halos appeared on everyone instantly. Strengthened, agility enhancement, strengthened defense. Magic aroused. With the blessing of each state, everyone's attributes have been greatly improved. Zhang Chen felt these states. The 4 major attributes of strength, agility, constitution, and spirit are all increased by 30 care of. The power of the mage's skills is increased by 20 care of. All states can last for 1 hour. With the blessing of the prophet state, everyone's combat power has been greatly improved. The prophet is indeed a powerful auxiliary profession, especially indispensable in high-difficulty dungeons. With the presence of the prophet, the team's combat effectiveness can be increased several times. However, compared with Zhang Chen's perfect talent, the prophet's increase was too weak. What effect will it have if the prophet's status is added to the skeleton warrior? Zhang Chen thought, and a skeleton warrior suddenly appeared next to him. A dark wind came out of nowhere, and the temperature dropped a few degrees. The sudden appearance of the skeleton warrior shocked several people. The skeleton warrior was carrying a sinister wind, his soul fire was leaping, and he was holding a cold light sword in his hand that made an infiltrating friction sound from time to time. Zhang Yang, who was adding status to everyone, was so frightened that his hands trembled and he even stopped using his skills. Lu Kui screamed and shrank behind Fang Hongshou. Holy shit! Undead summons. Fang Hongshou was still calm. Zhang Chen, is this your summon? Zhang Chen nodded, and looked at Zhang Yang. Please give it some form of status. Okay. Zhang Yang was stunned for 2 seconds before he came to his senses, tried to calm down, and continued to improve everyone's status. The light on the beach keeps lighting up, and every team is in a state of blessing. Looking around, they are all rare professions. Careers that are rare in other cities are flourishing here. Zhang Chen already knew what Hong Shen meant by the insiders of Shenlong University. These people showed their talents early, studied and grew up in Shenlong University since they were young, and then changed careers in Shenlong University. It can be said that they are professionals trained by Shenlong University. Basically everyone has a rare profession, everyone receives the best education and enjoys excellent resources. Far more than professionals in various cities. Like Lin Kyer, she is the same age as Zhang Chen and has reached level 19. And he knows more than Zhang Chen. Fang Hongshou is only 1 year older than Lin Kyer and Zhang Chen, and has already reached level 23. Zhang Yang showed surprise. My skills can't be applied to it. The aura of the status dissipated as soon as it appeared on the skeleton warrior. He tried it a few more times. Zhang Chen was not disappointed. Perhaps it's because his talent is too strong, and low-level skills like Zhang Yang are directly covered by his talent. It can't even improve the status, it's really useless. Lei Ren snorted coldly, with disdain in his words. Zhang Chen looked at him with cold eyes. After repeated provocations, Zhang Chen was not without a temper. The skeleton warrior's eyes glowed red, and he also turned to look at Lei Ren. The soul fire kept beating and the sinister wind gusted. Lei Ren suddenly felt horrified and took a step back unconsciously. The staff in his hand simultaneously burst into flames. Fang Hongshou reacted very quickly and immediately stood between the two of them. If you want to fight back, you must first complete the trial. Zhang Chen nodded and withdrew his gaze. Lei Ren took a deep breath and tried to control himself. When the skeleton warrior looked over just now, he really felt that his life was in danger. With a roar in the air, the trial began. Fang Hongshou said immediately, "Enter the island." Several people form a team, which is a whole. The average level is exactly 20, which is in line with the rules. Everyone felt that they had passed through a water curtain and entered Mermaid Island. The air in the island is filled with water vapor, and every breath carries a strong fishy smell. The humid air makes people feel extremely uncomfortable. Wrapped in this unpleasant smell, everyone felt unspeakably uncomfortable, but they were enduring it for the sake of the mission. Lin Kyer covered her nose and said dissatisfied, "This place is really uncomfortable, smelly and fishy." She is a delicate eldest lady, and it is extremely rare for her to be able to endure such a harsh environment. In the center of the island stands a conspicuous peak. The mermaid copy is located on the peak. From a distance, a huge waterfall can be seen pouring down from the peak. At the top of the mountain, the entrance to the mermaid copy is constantly rotating like a whirlpool on the sea floor. Fang Hongshou looked at the mountain peak and confirmed the direction of progress. The space on the island was larger than they imagined. When the transmigrate water curtain appeared, everyone had dispersed. The originally dense team was now all cut apart by the water curtain. We must be smart. Our target is the mermaid copy. Don't attack monsters that won't take the initiative to attack. Fang Hongshou gave the order calmly, and the team members all nodded. They all knew that they came here to fight quickly and not to delay. She rushed forward first, followed by the others. There are pools everywhere on the island, and the water is full of various monsters. These monsters are half human and half fish, and their bodies are covered with scales. They are far from the mermaids in the story. Their exposed fangs are extremely sharp, shining coldly in the sun. Not to be underestimated. When the team members saw it, their hearts tightened. If they were bitten by such a water monster, they might be poisoned, injured, or even life-threatening. A narrow channel was formed between the water pools, and the team quickly transmigrated the channel like a long dragon. Suddenly, there was a sound of water, and a mermaid monster jumped out of the pool and ran straight towards it. Fang Hongshou's reaction was extremely fast. She immediately released the provocation skill, which is the knight's signature skill. The mermaid monster seemed to have been greatly insulted and instantly lost its mind. It turned around and rushed towards Fang Hongshou, its eyes flashing red and full of violence. When facing the foreign invaders, this monster has lost its mind. Zhang Chen's detection technique also landed on the mermaid monster, showing the following attributes. Mermaid soldier. Level 19 inches. Power 300 inches. Agility 150 inches. Spirit 200 inches. Physique 320 inches. Skill none. Judging from its attributes, this monster meets the standards of a level 19 monster. These monsters are not powerful and have no skills. Such wild monsters cannot stop them at all. Charge. Fang Hongshou didn't wait for the mermaid monster to arrive, and already faced it with a shield. Under the charge skill, she instantly crossed a distance of more than 10 meters and collided with the mermaid monster. With a bang, the mermaid monster was knocked several meters away and fell to the ground. At this time, a fireball flew out and landed accurately on the mermaid monster. With a bang, the mermaid monster was immediately enveloped in flames. But it didn't die there. It struggled and rushed towards Fang Hongshou. A figure flashed behind it, and Lin Kaier had arrived beside it at some point. The dagger poked out with a faint light. A fatal blow. The skill was activated, and the dagger pierced the mermaid monster's vest. The scales shattered, and the mermaid monster fell to the ground with a scream. At this time, another ice arrow shot out and landed on the mermaid monster. The whole body of the mermaid monster was frozen, and it completely lost its movement. Kill a level 19 mermaid soldier, experience plus 1500. Fang Hongshou gets fish scale x1. Zhang Chen received the reminder that the mermaid monster had been killed. Because of the 6-person team, the experience gained is not high. Fang Hongshou is the captain, and all dropped items will be obtained by her. This was a trial, not for leveling up, and Zhang Chen didn't care. After quickly dealing with the mermaid monster, the team continued to move forward. Encountered several more waves of monsters along the way. The closer you are to the mountain, the more monsters there are. The level is also gradually improving. Level 21 monsters have appeared behind them, and it will take some effort to destroy them. After killing a level 21 monster, Fang Hongshou looked at the mountain. At the current speed, it will take at least 3 hours to reach the center of the island. It also takes time to go up the mountain. We're too slow. Next, when we encounter monsters, Lu Kui is responsible for controlling them. If you can, don't fight them. Let's speed up and head to the copy. Fang Hongshou decided to ignore the monster and speed up the team's advancement. Lu Kui nodded, okay. The team moved forward faster. When encountering a monster again, Lu Kui directly used skills to control it. Bound by the wind. During the skill, the wind element moved gently, like shackles trapping the monster. The duration is 1 minute. After 1 minute, they will have disappeared. As a result, the team's advancement speed is greatly accelerated. After only 20 minutes, the foot of the mountain was already visible. Just as Fang Hongshou had judged, they were lagging behind. At this time, another team had arrived at the foot of the mountain, much ahead of them. The waterfall falls from the top of the mountain. There is only one road up the mountain, and it is not wide. There are a lot of mermaid monsters standing in the waterfalls and on the roads. Especially at the foot of the mountain, waterfalls wash down and dense pools of water appear at the foot of the mountain. The pools are connected to each other, forming a winding road. There are mermaid monsters everywhere here, and it is impossible to avoid them. At this time, a team had already arrived at the foot of the mountain, cleaning up the monsters at the foot of the mountain and preparing to go up the mountain. Fang Hongshou gritted his teeth, if we rush forward directly, are we sure? Lu Kui shook his head, there are too many and I can't control them. And these monsters are all level 22, which is higher than me. There is a chance that my skills will fail. If the monster level is higher than Lu Kui's, there is a possibility of skill failure. I have failed several times along the way, but there was only one monster at that time, and if I failed to control it, I would destroy it directly. But here, there are too many strange things. Densely packed like a military camp. Fang Hongshou frowned. If you clear everything along the way, it will take at least an hour, and you will be completely behind. But if you charge directly, without Lu Kui's control, it will be difficult to rush over. They might even be surrounded by mermaid monsters and the team would be in danger. For a moment, Fang Hongshou was in a dilemma. Zhang Chen looked at the road ahead and found the nearest way. Let me do it. Zhang Chen suddenly spoke. Lei Ren sneered almost instinctively. You come. What can you, a level 17 guy, do? Zhang Chen didn't make a move along the way, he just followed behind. Except for Lin Kaier, no one knows his abilities. Lin Kaier snorted. Ling, shut your stinky mouth. Fang Hongshou glared at Lei Ren and signaled him to stop talking. Then Fang Hongshou asked Zhang Chen, what are you going to do? Zhang Chen said, use the skeleton warrior to lure away the mermaid monster. Fang Hongshou's eyes lit up, and then she remembered that Zhang Chen's profession was a summoner of the dead. Although he didn't know what profession a summoner of the dead was and what skills he had, it was a fact that he had summoned objects. Using summons to lure away the mermaid monsters is a good way. This also made Fang Hongshou notice that among the teams that had rushed to the foot of the mountain, there were summoners among them. He probably used summons to lure away the mermaid monster. Fang Hongshou said, "Leave it to you. Others, get ready. We'll rush over while the monster is lured away." Zhang Chen's heart moved, and the skeleton warrior ran over with a unique clicking sound. So fast, Fang Hongshou's eyes suddenly shrank. The skeleton warrior was much faster than she expected. In the blink of an eye, he had traveled dozens of meters and appeared in front of a group of mermaid monsters. The mermaid monster made a sharp cry and immediately rushed towards the skeleton warrior. The skeleton warrior ignored them, turned around and ran away. He ran to another pool and pulled out all the mermaid monsters in the pool. Then he ran to another pool. In the blink of an eye, there were more than a dozen mermaid monsters following behind the skeleton warrior. The skeleton warrior dragged a group of monsters and ran farther and farther. The passage in front of him was cleared, and Fang Hongshou let out a low drink. Walk. The team moved forward quickly. The skeleton warriors ran ahead to clear the way, taking away all the monsters along the way. The team moved forward very smoothly. After only a few minutes, they had reached the foot of the mountain. At this time, there were more than 100 monsters behind the skeleton warrior. Under Zhang Chen's control, the skeleton warrior ran further and further away. Suddenly, the skeleton warrior disappeared. Zhang Chen put it back into the summoning queue. The mermaid monsters suddenly lost their target, and each one looked full of doubts. Fang Hongshou breathed a long sigh of relief. "Well done." Lin Kaier giggled. "That's awesome." Zhang Yang and Lu Kui also looked at Zhang Chen with admiration, thanks to him this time. Lei Ren said coldly, "Why didn't you do this at the beginning? Otherwise we would have reached the mountain long ago." Zhang Chen turned his head and looked at him as if he were an idiot. "Isn't this guy a mage? The mage's brain should be very good. Why does this guy look a little stupid?" Lin Kaier snorted coldly. "Lei Ren, shut your stinky mouth, stop farting here, and do it yourself if you can." Zhang Chen looked at him with cold eyes, for the last time. Lei Ren's face was full of disdain. "Isn't it just relying on summons?" Fang Hongshou interrupted Lei Ren at this time. "That's enough, shut up." Lei Ren targeted Zhang Chen again and again. Zhang Chen seldom spoke, and every time it was Lei Ren who stirred up trouble. Everyone knows who has a problem. Suddenly there was a scream from the top of the mountain. Everyone looked up and saw a large number of mermaid monsters rushing down from the mountain. The teams that had gone up the mountain before were quickly retreating down the mountain. At this moment, their faces were all shocked. Seeing this situation, the faces of the people in front of the team changed drastically, and a bad premonition came over them. Fang Hongshou's face changed drastically, and she shouted urgently, "Get back." The team immediately retreated, away from the foot of the mountain. Suddenly, hundreds of mermaid monsters rushed down from the top of the mountain, completely blocking the way up the mountain. At this time, even if people were slow to react, they all understood that someone had deliberately lured the mermaid monster down. This method is really despicable. Zhang Chen saw a man running in front of the monster group. It was obvious that he had deliberately attracted the mermaid monster. This person was wearing different clothes from them. He was neither from Shenlong University nor from Shenlong Empire. Fang Hongshou also saw it and said, "They are from Sakura country." The clothes he is wearing are obviously the traditional clothes of Sakura country. Fang Hongshou narrowed his eyes. This guy should be an onmyoji, a profession unique to Sakura country. This professional's clothes are embroidered with cherry blossom patterns. Zhang Chen frowned when he heard about the profession of onmyoji, obviously he had never heard of it. Lin Kaier whispered, "I heard that this profession is very insidious." Fang Hongshou added, "Indeed, onmyoji is famous for its many tricks. Not very strong in terms of serious strength, but very cunning and full of tricks. It's very difficult to deal with in a real duel." Onmyoji took out 2 talismans and threw them out, one left and one right. The talismans exploded in the air, and 2 huge phantoms suddenly appeared. These two phantoms quickly rushed down from the air to the foot of the mountain, attracting the monsters in the pool at the foot of the mountain like skeleton warriors. When the monsters in the pool and surrounding areas saw the appearance of the phantom, they all rushed over like crazy. It seemed that such phantoms had the property of attracting the hatred of monsters. The students of Qianlong Academy who were retreating were surrounded by monsters. They kept releasing their skills in an attempt to break out of the siege. However, there are so many monsters that most of them cannot break through. Unable to break through, they had helpless and regretful expressions on their faces, so they had no choice but to emit white light one by one, use the teleportation stone, and escape from the scene. Everyone gets mission stones before entering the island, and they can also be used as teleport stones. In an emergency, using the mission stone can also directly transport the professional out of the dungeon, which can be regarded as a last resort to save life. But once transmitted, this trial mission will end in failure. Lin Kyer said, "This is the Shikigami skill of Onmyoji. It is said that it can summon ancient gods." Lu Kui asked in a low voice, "Why did he do this?" Fang Hongshou explained, "He wanted to prevent us from going up the mountain." At this time, the foot of the mountain was already full of monsters, at least 200 of them. There are more than 100 monsters on the mountain road. There were more than 300 monsters in total, blocking the road up the mountain. Zhang Yang frowned and couldn't help but say, "It will take at least several hours to clean up these monsters. It will be difficult to go up." The Onmyoji sat on the Shikigami, floating in the air, laughing. "You just stay here, the copy belongs to my great Sakura country." After saying that, Shikigami flew away with him and disappeared in a blink of an eye. Onmyoji is a legendary level profession. It seems that Sakura country has spent a lot of money this time. By the time we clear out all the monsters here, the daylilies will be cold. And our team is in chaos, and many people have withdrawn from the trial. Fang Hongshou said, "It doesn't matter. We can regroup when we get to the dungeon. The question now is how to get up there. Indeed, this is the most troublesome problem right now." Someone suggested, "Who will sacrifice to lure away the monsters here?" Another student said, "Don't be stupid, do you think we are also level 42nd level professions? Don't you know how dangerous it is to pull monsters? This is not a dozen or 20, this is a few hundred monsters. Go summoner. Do you think summoners are omnipotent? It's okay if there are few monsters, but there are so many monsters, are you kidding me?" Fang Hongshou looked at Zhang Chen and asked, "Are you okay?" Zhang Chen nodded, and then a skeleton warrior quickly rushed towards the foot of the mountain. Some students were surprised. "What, this is a skeleton? An undead summon?" Another student asked in confusion, "Whose summon is this? What is it going to do? It seems like it's going to lure away the monster. It's running really fast." The appearance of the skeleton warrior immediately attracted the attention of the monster group. A large number of mermaid monsters screamed and chased the skeleton warrior. All of a sudden, the number of mermaid monsters surrounding them was reduced by 1/3. Fang Hongshou sighed, "It's a pity that there are still so many." Click, click, another skeleton warrior ran over. 2. Fang Hongshou's eyes lit up, she didn't expect Zhang Chen to have a second skeleton warrior. Great, now there is hope. The second skeleton warrior followed suit and took away another group of monsters. The monsters at the foot of the mountain are basically empty, and now only the monsters on the mountain road are left. Even if these monsters are still there, they will be cleaned up much faster than before. Well done, bro. Brother Niu, when the trial is over, I'll treat you to a drink. I will take you when you download a copy later. Everyone praised Zhang Chen one after another. Lin Kyer smiled brightly, and she seemed happier praising Zhang Chen than praising herself. Only Lei Ren's face was ashen and he felt as if he had eaten rat droppings. At this time, the third skeleton also appeared. There's actually a third one. It's stable this time. Everyone shouted excitedly. Get ready to go up the mountain. Zhang Chen said softly. Fang Hongshou was ready. Okay, everyone is ready. The third skeleton rushed up and pulled down the group of monsters on the mountain road. Fang Hongshou seized the opportunity and quickly rushed towards the mountain. The other teams saw this and immediately followed. In fact, Zhang Chen doesn't have to go to such trouble. He can use corpse explosion to clean out these monsters instantly. Just because of Lei Ren's existence. Zhang Chen didn't want this guy to take advantage. Now that they are in a team, if they use corpse explosion, why should their experience be equally divided? Zhang Chen provoked himself again and again. No matter how good his temper was, Zhang Chen was never so stupid. If it had been anywhere else, Lei Ren would probably have died without a complete body. Everyone ran up the mountain quickly. It took only a few minutes to reach the top of a mountain several hundred meters high. Arrived at the copy entrance. At the other end of the mountain top, a group of people happened to run up. Enter the dungeon, don't let them get the upper hand. People from Qianlong Academy shouted. Fang Hongshou also quickly rushed towards the entrance of the dungeon. How did they get up here? Is it possible that they can also fly? The Onmyoji just now was sitting on the Shikigami, standing in the void, with a strange expression on his face. He had obviously pulled so many monsters that the road was blocked. It will take at least several hours to clean up these monsters. By then, the team from Sakura Country would have already completed the dungeon, patting their butts and avoiding others. He didn't expect Qianlong Academy to go up the mountain so quickly, which exceeded his expectations. The two sides rushed to the top of the mountain together, and after looking at each other, they rushed towards the entrance of the dungeon at the same time. Whoosh, whoosh, sharp arrows exploded in the air and fell like raindrops. Be careful, it's the arrows from the archers. The archers in Sakura Kingdom suddenly attacked and used skills. The mage raised his shield. The knight unfolds his protective skills. Two skeletons appeared in front of Zhang Chen, blocking him and Lin Kaier. If you dare to take action, beat him. Hit me hard and don't let me go. The archer mages at Qianlong Academy also activated their skills. For a moment, arrows were flying and spells were exploding. Although they were only level 20 professionals, their skills were still quite brilliant. The wet nurse stood at the back and continued to treat, and the assistants also quickly replenished the status. Pillars of healing light shot into the sky. Knights joined the battle group, clashing and attacking each other. There was no preparation for this encounter, no formation at all. The scene became extremely chaotic. There is not much difference in strength between the two sides, and neither can do anything to the other. According to Zhang Chen, the Shenlong Empire should be stronger. Those who come out of Qianlong Academy are all elites among professionals. No matter the skills or equipment, they are all very powerful. The people who came to Sakura Nation were obviously elites, but they were still a bit inferior to those in the Shenlong Empire. The only problem is that the Onmyoji pulled monsters just now, causing the Shenlong Empire's team to become incomplete and their combat effectiveness to drop significantly. This resulted in a stalemate in the battle, with the outcome difficult to determine. The two sides fought fiercely, and no one could obtain the ownership of the copy. The mage's mental power was exhausted and he began to take divine medicine. The skills of archers and knights have also entered cooldown. The fighting between the two sides is no longer as fierce as before. Slowly, each retreated and entered a state of truce. Zhang Chen never took action. His skills are too powerful. He was afraid that if the skeleton warrior went up and slashed, the opponent would die. Then there will be another corpse explosion, and it is estimated that not many of the other party will survive. Fang Hongshou said that the competition between the two sides has been around for a long time, but it rarely resulted in human lives. What seemed like a fierce battle just now turned out to be only a few injuries. Moreover, under the treatment of the wet nurse, the injury recovered quickly and was not life-threatening. There was no winner in the first confrontation. Both sides were wary of each other and no one dared to relax. The copy is right in front of you, and mermaid tears is an item that both parties are determined to obtain. Our team is in too much disarray and we need to regroup. As long as we can reorganize the team, we will definitely be able to suppress them. Many people left at the bottom of the mountain, the team was in chaos, and the fight was at a disadvantage. We need a long-range output here. A mage or an archer will do. Anyone that doesn't exceed level 22 will do. We are missing a wet nurse here. We need a wet nurse who is below level 21. A mage, anyone below level 23 will do. There are many teams that are short of output, followed by the lack of nannies. When they were surrounded by monsters just now, many mages withdrew from the trial. And there are also requirements for levels. The average level cannot exceed level 20 when entering the mermaid dungeon. Lei Ren suddenly said, Captain, I want to go to another team. Why? Fang Hongshou was a little surprised. She didn't expect Lei Ren to say that. Lei Ren pointed at Zhang Chen. Either he leaves, or I leave. Not only Fang Hongshou was surprised, Zhang Yang and Lu Kui also looked surprised. Unexpectedly, Lei Ren would use this as a threat. But now, we have already arrived at the entrance of the copy. Zhang Yang said in a deep voice, Lei Ren, you are going a little too far. Lu Kui also said, that's right, if Zhang Chen hadn't diverted the monsters away just now, we wouldn't have been able to get up. Lei Ren didn't care. This is his business, I don't care. Anyway, just one sentence, either he leaves or I leave. Lin Kaier sneered. Lei Ren, you are such a dog. Lei Ren ignored Lin Kaier. Captain, you choose, I'll be here waiting for you to make your decision. After saying that, he crossed his arms and looked at Zhang Chen coldly. No one in the team expected that Lei Ren would suddenly come out like this. Fang Hongshou examined Zhang Chen for a while, and then looked at Lei Ren. She was very dissatisfied with Lei Ren's behavior, but now that Lei Ren has really left, without an output member, it is almost impossible to successfully clear the nightmare copy. The possibility that the trial mission will fail is extremely high. Now every team is in urgent need of mages, and Lei Ren's choice just meets this demand, so he chooses to attack at this time, putting Fang Hongshou in a dilemma. Without Zhang Chen, the average level of the team will exceed the limit, but it is relatively easy to find a low-level member, at least easier than finding a mage. Lin Kaier wanted to say something, but Zhang Chen gently held her back and signaled her not to speak. Lin Kaier understood what she meant. If Zhang Chen was asked to leave the group, she would definitely choose to leave. Zhang Chen said nothing and watched quietly. Now, it depends on what choice Fang Hongshou will make. Fang Hongshou finally made up her mind after some mental struggle. She turned her eyes to Lei Ren and said firmly, Lei Ren, please quit the group. Lei Ren was very surprised when he heard this answer. He originally thought that Fang Hongshou would choose him. What? He almost thought he heard wrong. Captain, if I withdraw from the group, everyone's trial mission will fail. Don't you want to go to Dragon Race Academy? Fang Hongshou said in a heavy voice. Although I really want to enter Dragon Race Academy, you forgot my profession. Fang Hongshou is an elf knight, and knights have their own beliefs. Being able to come here, she knew that everyone should be grateful to Zhang Chen. Therefore, it is impossible for her to let Zhang Chen withdraw from the group. Lei Ren showed a sneer. In that case, don't regret it. He decisively quit the team. At this time, mages were everywhere, and it would not be difficult for him to find a new team. Zhang Chen stood up and said calmly, let's enter the dungeon. Fang Hongshou felt very confused. She didn't know what was going on now. Zhang Chen seemed to have forgotten the previous conflict with Sakura country. Now that both sides have reached a truce, they are watching the copy eagerly, and no one can get close. She asked doubtfully, how to get in now? Zhang Chen had already taken steps, and Lin Kaier followed him. Lin Kaier said happily, Sister Hongshou, let's enter the dungeon. Fang Hongshou still didn't understand. Enter the dungeon. How to enter? Zhang Chen said calmly, just follow me. Lin Kaier followed Zhang Chen with a cheerful look on her face. She naturally knew what Zhang Chen was relying on when he said this. Since Zhang Chen said he could enter, there must be no problem. Zhang Yang and Lu Kui were hesitant and didn't know what to do. Fang Hongshou thought to herself, the worst possible outcome would be to retreat. With her here, at least there won't be any danger. The other party probably wouldn't dare kill anyone. Walk. As a captain, her words are very effective. Zhang Yang and Lu Kui both walked over together. Fang Hongshou walked in front of Zhang Chen in 2 steps and held the shield tightly in her hands. It was obvious that she was nervous. The 5 people suddenly approached the copy, which immediately aroused the reaction of the Sakura people. Go back, don't go near the copy. Shenlong man, get back quickly. The Sakura nation shouted loudly, cocking their bows and arrows, and raising their staffs high. As long as they dare to get close to the copy, they will definitely suffer a heavy blow. Zhang Chen ignored it and continued walking towards the copy. Fang Hongshou had already raised her heart to the extreme. Zhang Yang and Lu Kui were also very nervous. Only Lin Kaier didn't care. Don't be nervous, it'll be fine. Brother, what are you going to do? Come back quickly, something will happen. Let's go too, protect our brothers. They all know Zhang Chen. If it weren't for Zhang Chen's skeleton just now, none of them would be here. Although they didn't know what Zhang Chen was going to do, most people still chose to protect Zhang Chen. Lei Ren sneered. Silly X, are you looking for death? Seeing that Zhang Chen ignored the warning, the Sakura Nation people immediately activated their skills. Arrows, spells, and all kinds of attacks came overwhelmingly. Fang Hongshou immediately raised his shield. Zhang Chen pointed his finger forward. Aha! 20 skeleton warriors suddenly appeared around him. 20 skeleton warriors formed a shield, firmly protecting the 5 people and blocking all attacks. Fang Hongshou was stunned. Everyone was stunned. All go, there are so many. How can there be so many? What kind of profession is this? These skeletons are so hard, they don't feel anything when they are attacked. It looks quite broken. How can it be so strong? The skeletons remained motionless despite being attacked by the Sakura Nation. Enter the dungeon, nightmare difficulty. Zhang Chen looked calm and ignored the various attacks from the Sakura people. Fang Hongshou was infected by Zhang Chen's calmness. Instinctively chose to believe. He chose the copy according to Zhang Chen's words. The 5 people disappeared at the entrance of the dungeon, along with the skeleton warrior. They're in. A copy for 5 people. It should be nightmare difficulty. Nonsense, what's the use of normal difficulty? It must be nightmare difficulty. I don't know if it can be done. Whether it's possible or not, we can't let those fools from Sakura Country enter the dungeon. Yes, we can't let the fools from Sakura Country enter the dungeon. As soon as Zhang Chen entered, the 2 sides resumed their confrontation outside the venue. No one can enter the copy. In the mermaid dungeon, Fang Hongshou finally breathed a sigh of relief. I'm really here. Lin Kaier giggled. I'll just say, just trust Zhang Chen, don't worry. Fang Hongshou said, but even though we have come in, we have no output. How can we make a copy? Although Lin Kaier is an assassin, she is only level 19 and her output is completely insufficient. She is a knight, but her output is lacking even when she is safe. They play on normal difficulty, which is okay, and on nightmare difficulty, which is very, very difficult. Lin Kaier said, don't worry, Zhang Chen is here. But he's only level 17. Lin Kaier smiled. His skeleton is very powerful. It's really powerful, at least it's hard and it runs very fast. At this point, I can only believe Lin Kaier's words. Fang Hongshou said, well, I hope the skeleton's output is enough. I will block the monsters as much as possible. Lu Kui will treat me in time and control the field. Lu Kui patted her small chest. Don't worry, Sister Hongshou. Zhang Yang started to increase his status, but at this time Zhang Chen had already walked forward. The skeleton warrior can't add status anyway, so don't waste your time. A monster soon appeared ahead. A mermaid more than 2 meters tall appeared on the only way. The detection technique flew out. Elite mermaid warrior, enhanced elite monster. Level, 21 inches. Power, 2000. Agility, 1200. Spirit, 800 inches. Physique, 2200 inches. Skill, Scream. With a thought, the skeleton warriors swarmed forward. The few skeletons at the front launched a violent attack at the same time. Bang 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 several times. The elite warriors of the mermaid clan fell to the ground with screams. Kill level 21 mermaid elite warrior, experience plus 8967. Get fish skin by 10 inches. Zhang Yang was still in active mode, and was startled by the sudden pop-up prompt. What just happened? Why did I suddenly gain experience? Fang Hongshou also widened her eyes and looked at Zhang Chen in disbelief. This is a monster in the nightmare copy, an enhanced elite monster. Even if the configuration is perfect, it still takes a minute or two. But it was nothing just now. A few skeletons went up, and then bang 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 a few times. It's so weird, it's almost instant kill. Zhang Chen's skeleton is not only hard, not only can he run fast, but his attack power is also terrifying. Abort it now, it's almost like an instant kill. Fang Hongshou murmured, but didn't react for a while. Lin Kaier looked matter of fact. I told you, Zhang Chen's skeleton is very powerful. As she said this, she quickly followed. Zhang Yang shouted, Status, the status hasn't been added yet. Oh, hurry up and follow me, no matter what your state is. Fang Hongshou shouted and quickly chased after him. But the shock Zhang Chen gave her just now made her feel unable to calm down for a long time. The situation inside the dungeon shocked several people in the team. 20 skeleton warriors pushed all the way in front. It doesn't matter what kind of enhanced elite monster you are, if you go up there, you will be attacked with swords and axes flying, and you will kill them all without mercy. It can be said that it is a group of skeleton warriors in a group fight monster, one-sided. Basically no monster can survive 5 seconds. There aren't many strange things about this copy. The monsters in the dungeon are scattered and few, and the experience increases slowly. It would be better to recruit a group of monsters and directly use the corpse explosion technique. After browsing for a while, Zhang Chen also had a general understanding of the general situation in the dungeon. Zhang Chen did not release more skeleton warriors, as that would not increase the efficiency much. The other team members who were following the team, Fang Hongshou, Zhang Yang, and Lu Kui, had their mouths opened wide and never closed after seeing Zhang Chen's operation. Fang Hongshou never thought that it would be so easy to make a copy. Every time I play a dungeon, she is the most tired. The knight should be in front and pay attention to every attack of the monster. You must be able to firmly attract the hatred of monsters, and you must also protect your teammates. Unlike now, she just needs to follow behind and doesn't have to do anything. Taking a leisurely stroll is just like traveling in a dungeon. Necromancer, this profession is so powerful. I have never heard of such a profession before. Captain Fang Hongshou was thinking silently in his heart. Zhang Yang and Lu Kui next to them also had the same idea. After entering the dungeon, there is a winding passage, as if you were in a cave. The humidity in the copy is heavier than outside, and in addition to the fishy smell, there is also a rotten smell. Lin Kyer has been holding her nose since entering the dungeon. No need to think about it. Looking like this, she must be the eldest daughter of a wealthy family. She is relatively delicate. After walking in the passage for a long time, I finally came to the end. A huge cave appeared ahead. Looking down from the end of the passage, it is more than 50 meters high. A giant python is entrenched in the center of the cave. Anacondas are at least 30 meters tall and over a meter in diameter. The dark scales cover the body like armor, reflecting the metallic luster. The arrival of Zhang Chen and others has attracted the attention of the python, and a pair of huge eyes is looking towards them. As long as they dare to jump down, they will definitely be attacked by the python. Several people used detection techniques on the python. The Mermaid Queen's pet snake, elite boss. Level, 23 inches. Power, 3,600 inches. Agility, 5,500 inches. Spirit, 3,000 inches. Physique, 5,000 inches. Skills, whip, death entanglement, venom. Such a huge python is actually the Mermaid Queen's pet snake. It can be seen that the Mermaid Queen does have extraordinary means. This giant python is the monster with the highest attributes Zhang Chen has ever seen. Much taller than the Goblin King. It is very close to the Skeleton Warrior, and even surpasses the Skeleton Warrior in terms of agility attributes. Fang Hongshou said without hesitation, "I will resist the monster." Zhang Chen shook his head. No need. None of them moved, and the Skeleton Warrior had already rushed down. Zhang Chen still did not use any more Skeleton Warriors. In his opinion, 20 Skeleton Warriors are more than enough. The Skeleton Warriors jumped up one after another and rushed towards the giant python. The giant python soared into the sky, knocking several Skeleton Warriors away with a loud sound. Skill, whipping. The python's tail whipped up and swept away a few more Skeleton Warriors. Half of the 20 Skeleton Warriors were knocked away in the first wave of confrontation. The python's reaction was surprisingly flexible. The remaining Skeleton Warriors also failed to fall on it. The giant python swam quickly in the cave, and a huge tail kept whipping away the Skeleton Warrior. The Skeleton Warrior's attacks could only fall on it in small quantities, and it didn't even have time to use its skills. It seemed that the Skeleton Warriors were very passive, but in fact they were not seriously injured. After all, the physical attribute of 5,400 is here, and the defense is not low. Fang Hongshou looked a little anxious. This big python looks too flexible. What should I do? Zhang Chen whispered. It's okay. The palm of his hand glowed slightly, and he pointed lightly towards the giant python. Skill. Slowing curse. A layer of red light suddenly appeared in the cave, and everyone heard a soft buzzing sound, as if something terrible had happened. A red yolk pattern appeared on the top of the giant python's head. In an instant, the giant python slowed down. It's exactly twice as slow. This time, the skeleton warrior easily captured the giant python. The big knife in his hand fell crazily, slashing hard on the python's scales. Then the skill exploded, causing greater damage to the giant python. Blood splattered and scales shattered. The giant python screamed repeatedly. Is this a cursed skill? Fang Hongshou saw the red pattern on the python's head at a glance. Zhang Chen nodded. Yes, the summoner of the undead is not just a summoner, but also a different kind of mage who can cast spells. The giant python lost its speed advantage and could only fight hand to hand with the skeleton warrior. Skill. Death Entanglement. The skill was activated, and the python body entangled several skeleton warriors. The skeleton warrior was squeezed violently, making a clicking sound. It was mind-numbing to hear. However, the skeleton warrior is too strong. Although the sound sounds scary, it is actually nothing. Moreover, the skeleton warrior who was entangled never stopped holding the knife in his hand. The sword still fell on the giant python. The giant python couldn't bear it, let go of the skeleton warrior, and sprayed venom. The cave instantly became so smelly that it made people want to vomit. The smell is even worse than when I first entered it. The skeleton warriors were stained with venom, and Zhang Chen felt that they were slightly injured, but it was still not serious. The four-dimensional attributes are balanced, no pain, no fear, the skeleton warrior is almost perfect. It can even be said to be an extremely perfect killing machine that can execute Zhang Chen's orders unconditionally. The giant python tried all kinds of methods, but still couldn't do anything with the skeleton warrior. Moreover, it is cursed, and even its most excellent speed attribute cannot be used in this situation. After 2 minutes of entanglement, the giant python fell to the ground. There was reluctance in his eyes. Kill level 23 Mermaid Queen's Pet Snake, experience plus 12,300. Get white silver level armor, snakeskin armor. Obtain middle level monster core. Fang Hongshou's mouth twitched slightly, a little in disbelief. Killed just like that. Kill, Zhang Chen said as he jumped down and landed firmly on the edge of the cave using his strength. Fang Hongshou and others were still in a daze and couldn't react for a while. Lin Kaier smiled brightly. The more powerful Zhang Chen was, the happier she became. Others didn't know Zhang Chen well, but she was the first to know him. So much so that now Lin Kaier has forgotten that when she first saw Zhang Chen take action, her shock was not much better than that of several people at the scene. Don't be in a daze, let's go. As she spoke, she jumped up and landed lightly, like a butterfly. Much more elegant than Zhang Chen. Fang Hongshou and others finally came to their senses and jumped down one after another. Passing through the cave, a vast expanse of blue comes into view. Ahead is a magnificent palace. The palace of the Mermaid Queen. All the fishy smell disappeared without a trace here. Instead, there is a faint fragrance here. The whole environment has changed drastically, it is clean and tidy. From where they stood to the palace gate, a detachment of guards was patrolling. Each guard consists of 3 mermaid soldiers. Wearing armor and holding tridents, they look powerful. No one uses detection, and any use of detection will attract their attention. These military-looking mermaid monsters are not far away, and they will attract a large group of them if they are not careful. 1, 2, 3. My dear, there are 60 patrol teams in total, and a total of 180 mermaid monsters. Lin Kaier counted them once and stuck out her tongue. The number was a bit scary. Fang Hongshou added, and it looks like they are all enhanced elite monsters. It is difficult to deal with one such monster, and dealing with 3 at the same time is almost the limit. According to Fang Hongshou's experience, he will pick the 3 monsters in the corner and pull them over little by little to clean them out. Gradually clear the past and defeat them one by one. This is the surest and safest way. It may take time and effort, but it's safer. Lin Kaier looked at Zhang Chen. There are so many monsters, what should I do? Zhang Chen felt happy when he saw so many monsters. Weird, the more the better. Simple. As soon as he finished speaking, 20 skeleton warriors had already rushed out. The sudden appearance of the skeleton warrior immediately attracted the attention of the mermaid patrol soldiers. Groups of mermaid soldiers chased the skeleton warriors. Pulling monsters. Was he trying to lure away so many monsters? This is not a bad idea. While the skeleton warrior was attracting attention, Zhang Chen's detection skills had already followed suit. Elite Mermaid Enhanced Elite Monster. Level 22 inches. Power 2200 inches. Agility 1400. Spirit 1000. Physique 2400. Skill Stun Sweep. After seeing clearly the attributes of the elite mermaid soldiers, I felt confident. Soon, 180 elite mermaid sergeants were pulled together by the skeleton warriors. Then the skeleton warrior ran straight towards Zhang Chen's location and brought the monster back with him. Fang Hongshou felt the hair on her hair burst instantly. What was Zhang Chen doing? Just 4 or 5 of them can make the whole team exhausted. Now, the skeleton warriors are asked to lure more than 180 of them. This is tantamount to seeking death. The skeleton warrior stopped 60 meters away from Zhang Chen and turned around violently to unleash his skills. The elite mermaid sergeant also unleashed his skills at the same time. The tridents in their hands swept over with light. Skill, violent power, skill, stun sweep. The two skills collided, and the light of the skills shot into the sky, brilliant like fireworks. The attributes of skeleton warriors are too high, especially the skeleton warriors who explode with skills. Their attributes are several times higher than those of elite mermaid soldiers. After the collision of skills, the skeleton warrior was victorious. An elite mermaid soldier fell to the ground. Cover your ears, Zhang Chen said to Lin Kaier. Oh, Lin Kaier quickly covered her ears. Before Fang Hongshou and others could understand what happened, there was a loud bang that almost made them fall down. Then there were several more loud bangs. Skill, corpse explosion. After several consecutive thunderous sounds, everything returned to calm. Fang Hongshou and others have been numbed by the experience prompts that are flooding the screen. Oh my god, what happened? How could this happen? How did he do it? What kind of skill is this? A big explosion. Why is it so powerful? Of all the elite mermaid soldiers, no one survived. Everyone gained a lot of experience and materials. This is the first time that Fang Hongshou and others have experienced the charm of screen swiping experience. Several people seemed extremely excited. The gate of the Mermaid Queen's palace also rumbled open amidst the explosion. The hearts of Fang Hongshou, Zhang Yang and Lu Kui couldn't help but start beating wildly. The scene happening now is really crazy to them. After such a difficult trial, they never expected to reach the palace gate so quickly. There was also a look of anticipation in her eyes, and the door to the Mermaid Queen's palace opened. A strange aura swept out. Blue light enveloped the space. Along with the light, there is also the Mermaid Queen. Noble, elegant and beautiful. Although it does not belong to the human race, it does not hinder everyone's appreciation of beauty. What a beauty! Lin Kaier's eyes were covered with mist, and her pupils lost focus. He walked towards the Mermaid Queen unconsciously. Zhang Chen pulled her back. Not only Lin Kaier, Fang Hongshou was also affected. Zhang Chen, Lu Kui, and Zhang Yang are still in normal condition. Lu Kui exclaimed, "It's a magic trick." As she spoke, she quickly released her skills, and several rays of light fell on everyone. Skill, wake up. Lin Kaier woke up with a start. What's wrong with me? Fang Hongshou also trembled, and her pupils regained focus. What happened? Lu Kui looked at the Mermaid Queen. The Mermaid Queen has her own confusion. You and Kaier were both affected. I used my sobriety skills to dispel the confusion. Zhang Chen, Zhang Yang, and Lu Kui had relatively high mental power, so the Mermaid Queen's own confusion technique did not affect them. Lin Kaier was a little scared and kept patting her chest. It's so scary. Fang Hongshou took a deep breath. He is a boss after all, so it is normal to have some special abilities. She has experienced many kinds of dungeons. Although those dungeons are all low level and not too difficult, some bosses do have special skills. It was hard to guard against, and she almost got caught this time. The Mermaid Queen looked at the killed mermaid elite sergeant, and her eyes fell on the skeleton warrior. There was a sudden scream. The Mermaid Queen looks very beautiful, but her screams are extremely harsh. Several people covered their ears in discomfort. The scream of the mermaid queen set off layers of waves, and the wind rolled around. The numerous corpses on the ground were immediately blown away and fell in all directions. Zhang Chen's eyes tightened slightly. Originally, he wanted to wait for the mermaid queen to come over and directly use the corpse explosion technique to detonate everything. Unexpectedly, it blew away the corpse first. The skeleton warrior rushed forward against the strong wind. Facing the mermaid queen, who was at least 5 meters tall, the skeleton warrior looked so small. It seems that the skeleton warriors are vulnerable, but the strong wind brought by the mermaid queen cannot blow down the skeleton warriors. As the skeleton warriors moved out, detection techniques also followed. Mermaid Queen, boss level monster. Level, 24 inches. Power, 5,000 inches. Agility, 6,000 inches. Spirit, 5,000 inches. Physique, 6,000 inches. Skills, Terror Scream, Big Wave, Queen's Cry. The Mermaid Queen's attributes are extremely high, and she has surpassed the skeleton warrior in agility and physical fitness. The strength and mental attributes are also quite close to the skeleton warrior. After all, it is the level 24 Dungeon B0SS, a boss-level monster. The skeleton warrior is only level 17, and there is a full level 7 difference between the two. Fang Hongshou was equally shocked when she looked at the Mermaid Queen's attributes. Swallowing his throat. Compared to other copies, the Mermaid King has higher attributes. If we play normally, it will take at least an hour to destroy it. The normal play style mentioned by Fang Hongshou is when the team has complete output. 6-man team, 1 knight, 2 assists, and 3 DPS. This way you can slowly kill the dungeon boss. But now, she couldn't predict what would happen next. Zhang Chen's existence completely broke her inherent knowledge. Zhang Chen's previous performance was so shocking that it could even be said to be unbelievable. Can the gap between professions really be that big? She couldn't understand. 20 skeleton warriors are attacking the Mermaid Queen. The Mermaid Queen holds a huge trident and keeps sweeping. Each time, the skeleton warrior would be knocked back, then get up again and continue attacking. Zhang Chen could feel that the skeleton warriors were injured one after another in the Mermaid Queen's attack. The Mermaid Queen's strength attribute of up to 5,000 is enough to cause damage to the skeleton warrior. Moreover, the Mermaid Queen has a physical attribute of up to 6,000, so the damage done to her by the skeleton warrior is greatly reduced. Skeleton warriors besiege the Mermaid Queen, giving the illusion of a pack of wolves besieging lions. Judging from this, it's hard to say whether 20 skeleton warriors can take down the Mermaid Queen. After several rounds of attacks, the bones on several skeleton warriors were broken. There was a rattling sound, and Fang Hongshou and others felt uncomfortable when they heard it, and they all sweated for Zhang Chen. The skeleton warriors' movements began to change slowly after being injured. Fang Hongshou discovered this. Zhang Yang, give a status and be ready to fight at any time. She planned to hit the skeleton warrior when he couldn't hold on any longer. Zhang Chen said softly, no need. There was a shimmer on the palm of my hand. A giant red net fell from the sky. Skill, Slowing Curse. The Mermaid Queen's head was covered by red shackles, and her speed was doubled. The combat effectiveness is sharply weakened. It felt the curse, its body glowed, and it screamed again. Skill, Stormy Waves. Azure light illuminated the space, and huge waves swept in, instantly scattering all the skeleton warriors. As the huge waves rose into the sky, the skeleton warriors were swept up into the sky. The skeleton warrior kept spinning in the huge waves and was torn apart by the huge force. Among the huge waves, several skeleton warriors were seriously injured. Bones broke one after another. Zhang Chen immediately put it away. Fang Hongshou held the sword and shield tightly in her hands, and she felt that it would be her turn to do it later. When the skill ends, the huge wave disappears and the skeleton warrior falls from the sky. At this time Zhang Chen pointed his finger. The wind was howling, and there was darkness in front of me. He released all the remaining 88 skeleton warriors. As soon as the skeleton warrior appeared, he rushed towards the Mermaid Queen like lightning. There are so many. Why are there so many summons? It's so scary. Only then did a few people realize that Zhang Chen had not released all the summons at all. What is released is only part of it. Fang Hongshou even thought that if Zhang Chen was willing, he could easily eliminate the mermaid monsters blocking the way up the mountain. Just a few of those big explosions are enough. Nearly 100 skeleton warriors launched a siege on the Mermaid Queen. In the blink of an eye, the skeleton warriors had covered the Mermaid Queen's body. At this time, it is also very appropriate to describe him as a big man. The skills were activated one by one, and the swords and axes kept falling on the Mermaid Queen. The Mermaid Queen's skin and flesh were torn apart and she screamed in agony. The trident in his hand danced crazily, and the whole person was also jumping around. Under the influence of the slowing curse, its speed doubled, and it couldn't get away from the skeleton warrior at all. Suddenly, a cry came into my ears. Skill. Queen's cry. Mermaid Queen uses skills. Amid the crying, Fang Hongshou and Lin Keir were affected at the same time. The pupils lose focus again. Lu Kui quickly used her waking skills. But this time the sobriety skill didn't work. No, my level is too low. My sobriety skills can't offset the boss's skills. Zhang Chen whispered. It's okay. As long as he's not affected, it's fine. He pulled Lin Keir to prevent her from passing by, while Lu Kui held Fang Hongshou. Zhang Chen's spirit was high enough and he was not affected. Skeleton warriors are even less affected. They have no emotions, no pain, no fear. It is even more impossible to cherish the beauty and cherish the jade. The skeleton warrior's sword never stopped for a second. He kept shouting at the Mermaid Queen. The queen's skills are ineffective and she uses her trident to attack again. As its skill ended, Lin Keir and Fang Hongshou also recovered. Both of them had fear on their faces. This skill was so terrifying that the two of them had no power to resist. The blue light erupted again, and huge waves rolled in. The huge waves rolled up some of the skeleton warriors, but some of them clung to the Mermaid Queen and never let go. The other hand holds a pair of swords and attacks continuously. This time, the big wave didn't work so well. The battle lasted for a full 3 minutes. The Mermaid Queen finally fell to the ground with her final scream. Kill the Mermaid Queen, experience plus 26,700. Obtain white-silver level weapon, Mermaid Queen's long sword. Obtain white-silver level weapon, Mermaid Queen's staff. Obtain Mermaid Tears X1. The Mermaid Queen's long sword, white-silver level, strength plus 50, constitution plus 50, warrior skill power increased by 10 care of, available after level 20 inches. The staff of the Mermaid Queen, white-silver level, spirit plus 50, constitution plus 50, mage skill power increased by 10 care of, available after level 20 inches. Seeing the prompt, Fang Hongshou clenched her fists excitedly. In addition to Mermaid Tears, 2 white-silver level weapons were also obtained. The attributes are much better than Azure Bronze level weapons. A 10 care of skill power bonus can greatly enhance the combat effectiveness of each profession. Lin Keir jumped up happily. Yeah. The trial mission is completed. We are one step closer to Dragon Race Academy. Fang Hongshou smiled and said, as long as we complete a few more trial tasks and the level is higher, we will definitely be able to enter the Dragon Race Academy. Thanks to Zhang Chen this time. If it weren't for him, we probably wouldn't have been able to complete the trial. Lu Kui also whispered, yes, the worst is that guy Lei Ren. Don't mention that guy. We will never team up with this kind of person in the future. Fang Hongshou gritted her teeth. She despised people like Lei Ren the most. Now in her eyes, Lei Ren is like a street rat. Everyone shouts and beats him, but no one wants to see him. Zhang Chen calculated the time. About half an hour has passed since they entered the instance. There might still be a confrontation outside the copy. Even if another team enters the dungeon, they probably won't be able to play as fast. Keir, do you have the cooling talisman? Lin Keir's beautiful eyes flickered, and she immediately understood Zhang Chen's thoughts. He chuckled and said, of course. Zhang Chen's heart moved and he felt that he had guessed it right. A rich girl like Lin Keir indeed had something like this on her body. Chapter 71. Zhang Chen's prediction was correct. During the half hour they were finishing the mermaid dungeon. Outside the dungeon, the two sides were still confronting each other. In the past half hour, another conflict broke out between the two sides. No one can take advantage. At this time, they are each about 50 meters away from the copy, and no one can get close. Once you get close, you will be struck by thunder. Suddenly, 5 Taoist figures appeared at the entrance to the dungeon. Also appearing at the same time were 10 skeleton warriors. Zhang Chen and others left the dungeon under the protection of the skeleton warriors. But now when he appeared in front of everyone outside, everyone's eyes were fixed. Obviously they didn't realize that they would come out of the copy so soon. They're coming out. It's so quick, only half an hour. I guess I can't beat him, so I quit. Haha, these skeletons look quite hard. I guess they are hard and can be used as human shields. These skeleton warriors summoned by Zhang Chen seemed to have relatively high hardness and high defense. They would definitely be able to block guns when entering the dungeon. Other than that, they didn't think they were of much use. Everyone in Sakura country was sarcastic. They would never think that Zhang Chen got through the dungeon. Just half an hour is definitely not enough. No matter how perfectly configured the team is, there is no way they can clear the nightmare difficulty dungeon without 1 or 2 hours. The Shenlong Empire had a different reaction. They all breathed a sigh of relief when they saw Zhang Chen and others coming out safely. As long as you come back safely. Brother, come back quickly. It doesn't matter if the copy fails, just stay alive. As long as you live, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. Lei Ren sneered. I'm lucky, I can still come out alive. His words were filled with a strange aura, which made several people even more disgusted. Fang Hongshou glanced at the people on both sides and found that there were no shortage of people. It means no one entered the copy at all. Be careful. Lin Kair smiled happily. Don't worry, as long as Zhang Chen is here, nothing will happen. Well, I'll wait for you outside. Zhang Yang and Lu Kui also said, come on. After speaking, the 3 of them retreated to the Shenlong Empire's team. Lin Kair and Zhang Chen formed a team. In full view of everyone, Lin Kair took out the cooling amulet and activated it. In the dim light, the copy's cooldown time returned to 0. The 2 entered the copy again. Why did they go in again? What is this going to do? 2 people entering the dungeon. The people outside looked at the 2 people with puzzled looks on their faces, completely confused as to what the 2 people were going to do. Even on normal difficulty, 2 people are not enough. Elementary cooling talisman, this woman actually has such a high-level thing. It seems that her identity is not simple. This is a good thing that is hard to buy even if you have money. The primary cooling talisman is easy to obtain. Zhang Chen looked for it on both the Imperial Exchange and the University Exchange, but found it was not available on either of the 2 major exchanges. This thing is obviously somewhat precious. He had only seen it in Lu Qingyu's hands. I just asked tentatively, but I didn't expect Lin Kair to really have it. Like Lu Qingyu, it is a primary cooling talisman and can be used 10 times. After 10 times, energy should be replenished. Lin Kair still has 5 chances to use this piece in her hand. If you bring Fang Hongshou and several people together, you can only do it 1 more time. If it's Lin Kair and Zhang Chen, they can do 2 more rounds. After discussion, Zhang Chen and Lin Kair finally went in to clear the dungeon. Anyway, Fang Hongshou, Zhang Yang, and Lu Kui are the same whether they are present or not. As long as Zhang Chen is here, it is enough. After entering the dungeon, Lin Kair had a bright smile on her face, and it seemed that even the stench in the dungeon was not that bad. You promised to help me upgrade, but I didn't expect it to happen so soon. Zhang Chen smiled. I will do it if I promise. Lin Kair smiled even brighter. Then you will have to take it with you in the future, but you are not allowed to take it with you once and then stop taking it. Good. Zhang Chen agreed. Lin Kai is a girl who is simple and lively, and also sincere and generous. As long as there is a chance in the future, Zhang Chen will still take her to upgrade and brush the book. 10 skeleton warriors have already responded and ran forward along the passage. After having this experience, Zhang Chen no longer wasted time fighting one by one. Just dragged the few monsters in the passage away. The skeleton warriors were in front, and the mermaid elite warriors were behind, advancing along the passage. 5 minutes later, the skeleton warrior dragged more than 30 elite mermaid warriors to the end of the passage and arrived at the cave of the mermaid queen's pet snake. The skeleton warrior jumped down. The monsters behind also jumped down one after another. After they all jumped down, Zhang Chen and Lin Kair appeared at the end of the passage. As the elite leader, the giant python is frantically chasing the skeleton warriors together with the elite warriors. Skill, slowing curse. Along with the red light flashing, shackles patterns appeared on the heads of all monsters. The speed suddenly slowed down. At this time, the skeleton warrior turned around and fought back at the same time. More than a dozen skeleton warriors all attacked an elite warrior. The unlucky mermaid elite warrior was killed almost instantly. Skill, corpse explosion. Boom, the explosion suddenly sounded. The cave shook violently, and countless gravel fell. All the elite mermaid warriors were killed almost instantly. Kill level 21 mermaid elite warrior, experience plus 11,300. Get fish skin by 6 inches. Kill level 21 mermaid elite warrior, experience plus 11,523. Get fish skin by 10 inches. A series of prompts appeared, and more than 30 elite mermaid warriors brought more than 700,000 experience points to each of them. The experience quickly went up a notch. The giant python didn't realize what happened. When the body exploded, it was seriously injured. Zhang Chen activated his skills continuously, triggering almost 10 corpse explosions in 3 seconds. The giant python fell to the ground with a scream. Kill level 23 mermaid queen's pet snake, experience plus 36,760. Get white silver level armor, snakeskin light armor. Obtain middle level monster core. The last time I fought here, it took more than half an hour to clear the monsters one by one. This time, it was only 5 minutes. The speed is several times faster. Bravo! Lin Kaier's eyes narrowed into crescent moons, very beautiful. Zhang Chen was slightly stunned, and then he said softly, "Let's go." The two jumped into the cave and continued on. Soon we arrived outside the palace of the Mermaid Queen. A large number of elite mermaid soldiers were patrolling outside the palace. The skeleton warrior quickly ran over. Soon, amidst several violent explosions, the two gained a lot of experience and materials again. A white light emerged from Lin Kaier's body. Hehe, I'm going to upgrade. Finally level 20. Lin Kaier stretched and sighed. When Zhang Chen first met Lin Kaier was already level 19. Zhang Chen was only level 10 at that time. After these days, Lin Kaier is still only level 19. Zhang Chen seemed to know how lazy this girl was at leveling up. It's probably the type that won't move unless it moves on its own. As a talented student of Shenlong University, this would be too easy. Blue light fell, and the Mermaid Queen's palace opened again. The beautiful and noble Mermaid Queen came out of the palace. Having experienced the last time, Lin Kaier swooped behind Zhang Chen. If I don't look at her, I won't be confused by her. With Zhang Chen as a shield, he really wasn't fooled. When the Mermaid Queen saw that all her soldiers were dead, she screamed angrily. This time Zhang Chen had experience and was prepared. The skeleton warriors carried the corpses of the elite mermaid soldiers back one after another. The corpse was not swept away by the airwaves caused by the scream. After the screams died down, the skeleton warrior ran back with the corpse. Zhang Chen quickly took action at the same time. Skill, slowing curse. Under the shackles of the red curse, the Mermaid Queen suddenly slowed down. The skeleton warrior carried a dozen corpses and ran back to the skeleton queen. Skill, corpse explosion. Old-fashioned, nothing new, but very effective. What's more, this copy does have something that Zhang Chen can use. Who allowed her to have so many enhanced elite monsters in front of the palace? The corpses of dead monsters in the dungeon have a limited time of existence. It only takes about 2 minutes. But the Mermaid Queen rushed out in such a short period of time. If she came out later, Zhang Chen wouldn't be able to use these corpses. The attack power of corpse explosion is based on the corpse's vitality. After perfect amplification, the damage becomes 300 care of the corpse's vitality, a full 3 times the damage. As the dungeon boss, the Mermaid Queen's vitality is only 20 or 30 times that of the enhanced elite monsters. Amidst a series of explosions, the Mermaid Queen fell to the ground with a scream. She didn't even have a chance to use her skills, it was almost an instant kill. Kill the Mermaid Queen, experience plus 52,304. Obtain white silver level weapon, Mermaid Queen's dagger. Obtain white silver level weapon, Mermaid Queen's magic book. Obtain Mermaid Tears X1. The Mermaid Queen's Dagger. White Silver level, Agility plus 50, Constitution plus 50, Assassin skill power increased by 10 care of, available after level 20 inches. The Mermaid Queen's Magic Book. White Silver level, Spirit plus 100, Mage skill power increased by 10 care of, available after level 20 inches. It has been less than 10 minutes since I entered the instance. The speed is outrageous, horribly efficient. Lynn Kyer clapped her hands excitedly. Quick, quick, let's do it again. Get all 3 mermaid tears. She felt an unprecedented sense of relief. Is this the feeling of holding her thigh? Real, it's so cool. It can only be said that a rich young woman like Lynn Kyer has a family background that is definitely not simple. While saying this, the two of them walked out of the dungeon. Lynn Kyer quickly used the cooling talisman. A few seconds later, the two entered the copy again. What are they doing? How come I came out as soon as I entered the dungeon, and then entered again? That's not how the cooling talisman is used. It's too wasteful. Is this just money and willfulness? The two teams, who were still facing each other outside the instance, were confused. They didn't understand what Zhang Chen and Lin Kyer were doing. What they did made people outside more and more confused. Even if they think hard, they can't understand it. The two are challenging the mermaid dungeon with nightmare level difficulty. And it only took them 10 minutes to complete the level. Only Fang Hongshou and Zhang Yang Luqui know the truth. The three of them looked at each other with shock in their eyes. They knew that Zhang Chen was fully capable of challenging the mermaid dungeon alone, but they couldn't imagine that it only took them 10 minutes. Even if you just wander around in the dungeon without fighting monsters, it won't be so fast. Zhang Chen took Lin Kyer into the dungeon again and finished it easily. Yeah, this time it only took 8 minutes and 58 seconds, which was more than 30 seconds faster than last time. Lin Kyer looked at the time on the communicator, still counting down. Zhang Chen laughed. This girl is so interesting. The dull atmosphere in the dungeon became a little lighter because of Lin Kyer's witty words. Others regard the trial as a task, but Lin Kyer seems to regard it as a game. This time, the two did not enter the dungeon again, but returned to the team of Shenlong Empire. People from other forces around him were sarcastic again. You must have used up the cooling talisman. What a waste. Why don't you go in again? Try again if you have the guts. The players from Sakura country were shouting loudly with jealous eyes. They were eager to snatch the cooling talisman from Lin Kyer's hand. This is a common practice in this country. If you want something, you always use some mean and dirty tricks. After Zhang Chen and Lin Kyer returned to the team, they teamed up with Fang Hongshou and the other two people again. Fang Hongshou asked, "Did you get it?" Zhang Chen handed mermaid tears to Fang Hongshou. In this trial, they formed a team, with Fang Hongshou as the captain, and she was responsible for completing the final mission. Suddenly, someone pointed at the copy and shouted, "The copy has disappeared." The sound was like thunder on the ground, and everyone turned to look. The vortex at the entrance to the copy completely disappeared after shaking a few times. How could the copy disappear? This is impossible. Unless all 3 mermaid tears are obtained, the copy will disappear. Did that person go in 3 times just now? Did they get the mermaid tears? They actually challenged and passed the nightmare level difficulty. Is this true? Whether it's true or not, the facts are before them. The copy literally disappears. There is no longer a chance to obtain mermaid tears. Let's go, Zhang Chen said softly. Mermaid tears has been obtained. There is no need to stay here anymore. Can't let them go. They must have obtained the mermaid tears, and they must hand it over. Get it back. Hand over the mermaid tears, otherwise you won't be able to leave. The people of Sakura country were angry, and everyone pressed forward. People in the Shenlong Empire were also surprised. Someone asked, "Fang Hongshou, did you really get the mermaid tears?" Fang Hongshou did not deny, "The mermaid tears are indeed in my hand." Hiss. Everyone gasped. This shows that they have really cleared the dungeon just now. Especially the last 2 times, only 2 people were able to clear the dungeon. How did you do that? Almost everyone had doubts in their eyes. Lei Ren shouted in his heart, "This is impossible, they can't clear the dungeon." But no matter how doubtful he was, he faced the pressing pressure of the Sakura people. Whether they are from Shenlong Empire, Shenlong University, or professionals from Qianlong Academy. The people were extremely united. Form a battle formation immediately. Get back. The little Sakura nation dares to act wild in front of our Shenlong Empire. If you want to steal the mermaid's tears, there's no way. Suddenly there was a roar in the air. The wind blew away the clouds, and 2 huge Shikigami appeared in the sky. The Onmyoji finally stopped hiding and revealed his figure. He was sitting on the Shikigami, exuding a powerful aura. Judging from pure aura, the opponent's level is very high, probably not lower than level 30. His profession is the Onmyoji, unique to Sakura country, a legendary level profession. And has a powerful Shikigami. Not easy to deal with. Fang Hongshou looked a little nervous and raised her eyebrows. This person is at least level 30. However, she suddenly thought that even someone as powerful as the Mermaid Queen could not last more than 2 or 3 minutes in Zhang Chen's hands. No matter how strong this Onmyoji is, he can't defeat the nightmare level mermaid dungeon alone. Every one of Zhang Chen's skeletons is so powerful. Thinking of this, Fang Hongshou relaxed again. The Onmyoji stared at Fang Hongshou. Hand over the mermaid tears, otherwise you won't be able to leave. The 2 Shikigami turned their heads to look at Fang Hongshou at the same time. There was a coldness in his eyes. Before Fang Hongshou could say anything, Zhang Chen had already taken action. Fire flashed in his palm. Skill. Soul Burn. A flame appeared above one of the Shikigami. The flames penetrated into the divine body in the blink of an eye. Ah! The Shikigami let out an earth-shattering scream. The sinister wind whistled, the screams were extremely shrill, and the Shikigami was twisted and deformed. The Onmyoji's expression changed, and he immediately used his skills in an attempt to stabilize the Shikigami. At the same time, he looked at Zhang Chen with a cold voice, seeking death. Another terrifying Shikigami appeared in the sky. This Shikigami is more than 3 meters tall, wearing armor, with the head of a snake and holding a giant axe. As soon as it appeared, it flew towards Zhang Chen. Do it! A melee started again. Qianlong Academy poured a large number of attacks on the giant axe Shikigami. The result is like a mud cow drowning in the sea, causing no harm to it at all. Everyone realized that this Shikigami was very powerful. The Onmyoji sneered. With your attacks, the most you can do is tickle my giant axe. 5 skeleton warriors appeared next to Zhang Chen. At the same time, he jumped up high and faced the flying giant axe Shikigami. Skill. Violent power. The sword in the skeleton warrior's hand flashed red. The skill is unleashed, with a power attribute of up to 5,400. The original attack power is terrifyingly strong, and the skill doubles the attack again. Boom, 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 after 3 loud noises in succession. This seemingly powerful Shikigami was instantly killed by the skeleton warrior. It turned into a puff of smoke and dissipated in the air. So weak. Zhang Chen was slightly startled. The seemingly powerful Shikigami is unexpectedly weak. Others were also stunned. It was obvious that his attack had no effect. But Zhang Chen's skeleton killed the opponent's Shikigami in 2 or 3 blows. Is it really that the Shikigami is too weak? The skeleton is still too strong. The Shikigami was destroyed, and the Onmyoji, the master of the Shikigami, also suffered heavy losses. His face turned extremely pale, and he spurted out a large mouthful of blood. At this time, the fire in Zhang Chen's hand flashed again. The screaming Shikigami was hit hard again. 2 skeleton warriors had silently appeared beside it, swords raised and lowered. This Shikigami was also killed instantly. Onmyoji screamed again. He quickly drove the Shikigami under him to fly high and away from Zhang Chen. The eyes he looked at Zhang Chen were filled with resentment and fear. Everyone was shocked by this scene. Both parties who were in confusion stopped. Everyone looked at Zhang Chen with fear on their faces. How can his skeleton be so powerful? That was a Shikigami, and he was killed so easily. What kind of skeleton is this? What is his profession? How many levels does he have? Questions arise one after another. The people of Sakura Nation doubted Zhang Chen's profession and rank. Zhang Chen wore a shielding badge, so they couldn't see Zhang Chen's occupation and level. However, the Onmyoji in the sky knew that Zhang Chen was only level 17 and his profession was the necromancer. Only level 17 is so powerful, I can only say that this profession is terrifyingly powerful. And Zhang Chen must have awakened his talent. He is a talented professional. Onmyoji felt that he had to take this information back, as a powerful professional emerged from the Shenlong Empire. This information is the most important right now. Besides, even if he stays here, he is no match for Zhang Chen. If he is not careful, he may even get lost here. Seeing Zhang Chen's cold eyes just now, he had no doubt that Zhang Chen would kill him if he got another chance. Thinking of this, he sat up and left without looking back. After losing 2 Shikigami one after another, his heart was bleeding. 10 skeleton warriors walked out and stood in the field side by side. His whole body was glowing with bluish-white light, the sword in his hand was glowing with cold light, his soul fire was constantly jumping, and there were gusts of sinister wind. Just looking at it can scare away some of the faint of heart. Facing the skeleton warrior, no one from Sakura country dared to take action. Even the Onmyoji were easily beaten away. How could they stop him? Retreat, or fight? This is a difficult question. The skeleton warrior suddenly moved and walked towards the Sakura nation with a grinding sound. The big knife in his hand swayed with a chill. The skeleton warriors advance, while the Sakura people retreat. Their momentum is getting weaker and weaker. Once the momentum collapses, there is no need to fight. The pressure brought by the skeleton warrior was too great. As the first person screamed and ran away, the Sakura Kingdom team completely collapsed. It's impossible not to run away. The professionals from this Shenlong Empire are too tyrannical. After all, no one wants to die here. After the storm came to an end, the Shenlong Empire's team returned happily. Those guys from Sakura country were so funny that they were so scared that they ran away. It's so funny to see them look like that. So many professionals were so frightened by a few skeletons that they fled. What a bunch of losers. They can even challenge the nightmare level difficulty. If they really try their best, the people from Sakura country will come looking for death. Of course they have to escape, otherwise they will be asking for trouble. Many people turned their attention to Zhang Chen during the discussion. Zhang Chen has remained silent and appears extremely mysterious. Strong in strength, few words, ruthless, and also has terrifying skeleton summons. This is the first impression Zhang Chen gives to all professionals now. However, the more ruthless Zhang Chen appeared, the more people around him became more curious about him. People whispered and speculated on Zhang Chen's identity. Where did this guy come from? Is he a student from a certain Apex level academy? Unlikely. What are people from Apex level academy doing in a place like this? Furthermore, those Apex level academy students are busy leveling up and challenging high-level dungeons, so they don't have time to participate in trials. It's really strange. Where does this guy come from? He doesn't seem to talk much, but the way he dealt with the Shikigami just now was really powerful. Well, he kills decisively without hesitation. The heart-shaped figure is much calmer than all of us here, so calm. On the way back, everyone felt relaxed and happy. Although they failed to complete the trial task, today's experience made them feel satisfied. Even when I went back and told others about it, I felt that today's incident would make them brag about it for a whole year. Scaring away the Sakura country team was comforting enough. Sakura country is just a small country. How could it dare to challenge the professionals of the Shenlong Empire? Many professionals present felt that Sakura's Onmyoji was lucky to have seen the bad opportunity and escaped early on a Shikigami. If he still dares to act recklessly at the scene, this mysterious young summoner will definitely kill him without hesitation. Promoting prestige for the country is the most important thing. As for the trial task itself, it has become secondary. Lei Ren was the only one with displeasure flashing in his eyes. He looked at Zhang Chen from time to time, his eyes filled with hatred and some regret. If he hadn't forced Fang Hongshou back then, he would have been one of the people who completed the trial mission. But now, there are no more what-ifs and what-ifs. HMPH, Zhang Chen, the grudge between us is not over yet. Lei Ren was filled with resentment. The group left the light curtain and returned to the mission release point. At this time, Fang Hongshou took out the mission stone and mermaid tears, hand in the mission. The mission stone and mermaid tears slowly rose into the air. The phantom of the divine dragon tower suddenly appeared in the sky. A ray of light shot out from the shadow, shining on the mission stone and mermaid tears in Fang Hongshou's hand. A few seconds later, a majestic voice came from the air. The trial mission is over and we are about to return. The phantom of the divine dragon tower shines brightly, illuminating everyone. Everyone was quickly teleported back. In less than 10 seconds, they had returned to Qianlong Academy. We're back. The trial is over. Luckily we all came back safe and sound. Nonsense. How can something happen in a trial? There are hundreds of trials in various colleges every year. Have you ever heard of anyone dying in a trial? Low-level trials are not life-threatening, but students from those apex-level colleges, especially those above level 30, lose their lives every year. Of course, that's a level 30 matter. To them, our trials are like child's play. They don't care about such difficulty at all. Qianlong Academy was full of laughter, and everyone kept talking about this trial experience. The one who was talked about the most was Zhang Chen. If it weren't for Zhang Chen this time, they would probably have to confront the people from Sakura country. It's hard to say whether you can finally grab the copy from the other party. After all, the other party has an onmyoji who is of a high level. Lin Kaier's face turned pale again, and the long-distance transmission made her very uncomfortable. We must find a place nearby for future trials. My lady won't go to places that are too far away. Lin Kaier was lying on the table, as weak as a dead fish. Fang Hongshou smiled and relaxed after returning. Thank you. This trial is very important to me. She sincerely thanked Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen shook his head and said, "You're welcome." Lin Kaier finally regained her composure. Sister Hongshou, there's no need to be polite to Zhang Chen. Although Zhang Chen doesn't talk much, he's a very nice person. Lin Kaier actually didn't get along with Zhang Chen for long. But it's so strange, Lin Kaier completely trusts Zhang Chen. Quiet. There was a low shout in the air. Everyone looked up. Only one person was seen standing empty. Stepping on the void, level 70, third level professional. Zhang Chen felt in awe. After a professional reaches level 70 and completes 3 turns, he can step into the void and have the ability to fly. This is true for any professional. Even if you are a life professional. Of course, there are also some individual professionals who have acquired the ability to fly early. For example, onmyoji can borrow Shikigami to fly. That's another matter. This is our Dean Tisheng. Lin Kaier whispered in Zhang Chen's ear. Zhang Chen nodded slightly, with admiration in his eyes. Any professional who can complete the third transformation is worthy of admiration. It has been said in high school textbooks that the third transfer is extremely difficult. Less than 1% of professionals can complete the third transformation. Such a person is naturally worthy of admiration. As for characters like Hong Shen, they are even rarer. There are not many in the country. Dean Tisheng's eyes swept over everyone and he was very satisfied. This trial has ended, and the process and results of the trial are being analyzed. Final results will be sent to your communicators later. You must remember that the most important thing about a trial is not the result, but the process. Enjoy the process, eliminate fear, and retain the belief that you must win. This is the purpose of the trial. Being able to complete the trial without casualties and come back safely is more important than anything else. It is said that you encountered professionals from Sakura country during this trial. We will analyze the specific situation. Those who perform well will naturally have the opportunity to enter top colleges. Now get some rest. After Dean Tisheng finished speaking, he turned and left. Lin Kaier exhaled a long breath. I'm fed chicken soup again and again, but it's the same old routine every time, so there can't be anything new. Fang Hongshou smiled, as if coaxing a child. Just listen, it can be considered an encouragement. Lin Kaier snorted. I don't need encouragement. It's no big deal to tempt people with top colleges every time. Fang Hongshou smiled even more happily. It's nothing special to you, but it's different to us. Lin Kaier stopped talking. She knew that Fang Hongshou wanted to enter a top college. Also at Shenlong University, there is a big difference between ordinary students, students from various colleges, and students from top colleges. Whether they are ordinary students or students from various colleges, they are all proud to join a top college. Fang Hongshou divided the dungeon harvest. Zhang Chen also took out the things he obtained later. Although the last 2 rounds were done by him and Lin Kaier. However, he insists that everyone is on the same team and the harvest must be equally divided. After dividing the spoils, Lin Kaier and Zhang Chen went to the Imperial Exchange together. Zhang Chen had no use for these things and planned to sell them and exchange them for gold coins. Lin Kaier didn't care about money. She even gave her share to Zhang Chen because she didn't have room to put it in her storage space. Only a devil would believe this reason. The storage space is not small, so how could there be no place to put it? Zhang Chen didn't refuse her kindness and accepted them all. After this time, the relationship between the two seems to have changed again, and there are some things that don't need to be discussed. At the Imperial Exchange, sell all the useless silver equipment. This time the dungeon contains another Mermaid Queen dagger of white silver level. Zhang Chen originally wanted to give the dagger to Lin Kaier. Lin Kaier took out a better dagger and waved it in front of Zhang Chen. Both are white silver level, with stronger attributes. Black iron level corresponds to level 10 or below. Bronze is equipment used between level 10 level 20. After level 20, you can replace it with stronger white silver level equipment. They are also silver equipment. The attributes of the best and the worst silver equipment are quite different. The Mermaid Queen is a level 24 boss, and the dungeon is only a level 20 dungeon. The white silver level weapons it drops have only average attributes. The only advantage is that the Mermaid Queen's weapons are more beautiful in appearance. White silver level weapons are priced from 50,000 to 200,000 on the Imperial Exchange. The weapons of the Mermaid Queen are basically priced at around 70,000. Zhang Chen sold 2 of the Mermaid Queen's weapons, plus the materials obtained this time, in exchange for 180,000 gold coins. Don't you need weapons? Lin Kaier saw Zhang Chen's hands were empty. There was originally a magic book, but Zhang Chen thought it was troublesome and sold it anyway. Zhang Chen shook his head, it's of no use to me. His profession is the summoner of the dead, and although it is also a legal profession, the skill bonus attributes in both the staff and the magic book are ineffective against him. Zhang Chen felt that maybe his profession had its own special equipment. That small amount of mental bonus is really of little use. Lin Kaier said, you need to save more money, and then buy more basic skill scrolls. Before your second transfer, you must learn all your basic professional skills. Zhang Chen listened carefully. He didn't know this knowledge. Lin Kaier knew it better than him. Lin Kaier transformed into Teacher Lin and taught earnestly. If you haven't learned all the basic skills, you can only use the middle-level skill scroll after your second turn. When the time comes to awaken a primary skill, it will be a waste of the middle-level skill scroll. After listening to Lin Kaier's words, Zhang Chen understood. Middle-level skill scrolls can also awaken primary skills. The price difference between the two is 100 times. If you use the middle-level skill scroll, but the primary skill is awakened, it will be an unjust death. The communicator in Zhang Chen's hand suddenly rang. After connecting, a majestic voice came from the communicator. Zhang Chen, come to the Academic Affairs Office. Zhang Chen was stunned for a moment. When Zhang Chen arrived at the Academic Affairs Office, he went in and saw Director Fei from the university's Academic Affairs Office standing respectfully aside. On the seat that originally belonged to him, Hong Jishi sat there carefree. After Zhang Chen arrived, he was a little surprised to see Hong Jishi, but his expression did not change much. I've met Hong Shen, I've met Director Fei. Zhang Chen bowed respectfully. Hong Jishi chuckled and waved to Zhang Chen. I saw the video of this trial, and you performed very well. Zhang Chen had some doubts in his heart. Why did he call him here just to say this, just to praise him in person? Zhang Chen looked at him with some confusion. Master Hong, I just did what I should do. Hong Jishi's smile became even brighter. The mentality he always admired the most was not to be arrogant in victory and not discouraged in defeat. This is also the best mentality to become a top player. Do you know the use of Taoist fish tears? Hong Jishi suddenly asked. This trial is for mermaid tears, and Zhang Chen still doesn't know what the Taoist fish tears are for. But since the university has arranged it this way, mermaid tears must be useful. Zhang Chen shook his head, indicating that he was unclear. Hong Jishi smiled and explained. Actually, in this trial, not many people knew the effect of Taoist fish tears. After all, the level gap is too big, and most people can't use it. The mermaid's tears are related to the success rate of awakening talents during the second turn. Zhang Chen was slightly surprised by this sentence. Zhang Chen knew that there was a chance to awaken his talent during his second turn, but this chance was too weak, and the chance of success was almost negligible. It can be said that the chance is very small, and only one person in a million can have such good luck. He once thought that it just depended on luck, but he didn't expect that there was a prop that could increase the success rate. Although he was surprised in his heart, Zhang Chen still maintained a calm expression, and even his eyes did not change. Hong Jishi was a little disappointed, not reading the emotion he expected from Zhang Chen's expression. He continued to explain. Of course, in addition to mermaid tears, there are other props that can help awaken talents, but they are relatively difficult to obtain. Originally, we calculated the time and location of Mermaid Island, but unexpectedly, Sakura Country also calculated the same information, which almost caused the trial to fail. Fortunately, you are here, you have contributed a lot. With this incident, it can be said that you have made great contributions to the school. In the Shenlong Empire, meritorious service must be rewarded. What reward do you want? Just ask, and I will try my best to meet your needs. Zhang Chen thought for a moment, and then said, "Can you help me find someone?" Hong Jishi laughed. "I knew you would make this request a long time ago. Have you checked it with the Academic Affairs Office? Your sister Zhang Ruo joined the university last year, and then she joined Dragon Race Academy at the beginning of this year, so you can only find her blank file in the university information. Information about all students who joined Dragon Race Academy is confidential." Zhang Chen was a little shocked when he heard that his sister had joined Dragon Race Academy. He knew that it was very difficult to join Dragon Race Academy, one of the top academies in the university. Fang Hongshou's ultimate dream is to join Dragon Race Academy. Lin Kaier also told him that if he had the chance, he must join Dragon Race Academy. Dragon Race Academy has always had a sense of mystery in his mind. Unexpectedly, his sister went in first. Zhang Chen realized there was a problem. How could my sister join Dragon Race Academy less than half a year after entering college? You must know that even insiders like Fang Hongshou who were trained by universities have not been able to join Dragon Race Academy. Hong Ji-sok said, "Zhang Ruo has indeed joined Dragon Race Academy. According to the rules, I cannot reveal to you what is going on in Dragon Race Academy. So if you have any questions, you can only join Dragon Race Academy and ask your sister yourself. You may not see your sister before you join Dragon Race Academy." Zhang Chen asked without hesitation, "How can I join Dragon Race Academy?" Hong Jishi had already been prepared and operated a few times on his communicator, and then Zhang Chen's communicator prompted that he had received some information. "Okay, I have sent you the conditions for joining Dragon Race Academy. You can take a look at it yourself when you have time. About your sister, I originally wanted to tell you. It is not your reward. You can mention another one." Zhang Chen thought for a while. "I want a cooling talisman." Director Fei showed a genuine expression. Hong Jishi slapped the table and laughed loudly. "Old Fei, I was right." Director Fei laughed out loud. "Sir, you really know everything well, and you hit everything." Zhang Chen's two requests were both within Hong Jishi's expectations. Hong Jishi looked at Zhang Chen with a smile. "Do you know how valuable the cooling talisman is? Even the primary cooling talisman cannot be bought casually." Zhang Chen nodded. "It's true that you can't buy it, not even on the university exchange." Hong Jishi said, "It's a matter of unified harmony code. You performed very well in the college entrance examination and won the top prize in the country. All the rewards that should be given to you have been given to you. Let's clear up this matter. You have merit in this trial mission, but this alone is not enough to exchange for a primary cooling talisman. I have a task here. If you complete it, I will help you get a primary cooling amulet." Zhang Chen's eyes lit up. Okay. With the primary cooling talisman, it would be much more convenient for Zhang Chen. It can be refreshed repeatedly in a short period of time, and its upgrade speed can be greatly improved. Hong Ji-sok said, "You must first upgrade your level to level 20, and then you can perform this mission. As for how to upgrade, you can ask the director, he is an expert in this field." "Okay, when you reach level 20, you can contact me again." Zhang Chen's communicator now has Hong Jishi's contact information. When he reaches level 20, he can contact Hong Ji-sok. Get the cooling talisman, join the Dragon Race Academy, and find your sister. Zhang Chen set a goal for himself. After Hong Jishi left, Director Fei finally sat back in his seat. He looked at Zhang Chen with a smile on his face. From Hong Jishi's attitude just now, he could tell that Hong Jishi was very optimistic about the young man in front of him. He knew very well what Hong Jishi was like. In all these years, he had never seen Hong Jishi treat anyone so kindly. Even the top talents in Dragon Race Academy were scolded by Hong Ji-sok. Hong Jishi's attitude towards Zhang Chen has completely surpassed other students. If he hadn't known Zhang Chen's identity, he would have doubted whether Zhang Chen was Hong Jishi's illegitimate son. Director Fei said with a smile, "There are many ways to upgrade, but the fastest way is definitely to clear the dungeon alone. It's just that the difficulty and danger of clearing the dungeon alone is high. Most people can only clear the normal difficulty at most. They may not even fight the final boss because they can't beat it. In addition to single-player dungeons, there are also areas where you can find elite monsters in the wild. There are many such places. But there are also a lot of people in those places, and there are often disputes over territory. The other thing is to find those wild boss. Wild BOSSs can provide a lot of experience, more experience than dungeon BOSSs, and you can also get good equipment. But the wild boss is contracted by major guilds. People who don't even know the refresh time." Director Fei said many methods. Except for the first method of brushing the dungeon, which is more reliable, all the subsequent methods are unreliable. These directions are only suitable for ordinary professionals and are not suitable for Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen understood this in his heart, but he was still very patient and kept listening. Although it is useless to me, it is also a point of knowledge. Maybe it will be used someday. For example, Director Fei mentioned the common strange areas between countries, which Zhang Chen had never heard of before. Director Fei talked a lot and didn't stop for 10 minutes. When Zhang Chen didn't respond at all, he finally lost his temper and said, "Lord Hong Shen is absolutely right. You talk so little. I lost and I won't joke with you anymore. Zhang Chen, give me your ID card and I will go through the procedures for you." Zhang Chen handed over his ID card, and Director Fei quickly completed the formalities for him. At the same time, he also handed Zhang Chen a teleportation stone that looked a bit special. This is the teleportation stone of the Copy Palace. Within the university, you can teleport into the university's replica hall through it. If you want to brush a copy, go there. By the way, this teleportation stone is worth 1,000 points and has been deducted from your points card. In college, everything is traded. If you want to get something, you have to pay the corresponding price. Or labor force, or points, or gold coins. There is no such thing as pie in the sky. After leaving the academic affairs office, Zhang Chen first thought of contacting Lin Kaier. He who promised to help her upgrade naturally couldn't break his promise. The communicator vibrated and received a message from Lin Kaier. "If you have something to do, leave for a few days and contact me when you come back." Unexpectedly, this little girl is not here this time. Zhang Chen thought that Lin Kaier was not that diligent before, but he didn't expect that she was not in school now. Could it be that she found that her level was too low and went out to practice on her own initiative? Or maybe he was out on a mission. Zhang Chen still remembered that the first time he met Lin Kaier, she was also busy with a mission. At Shenlong University, everyone is busy, and no one seems to have any real leisure time. In a few days, new students admitted to Shenlong University this year will arrive one after another. At that time, the school will start unified courses, and busy days will begin again. Zhang Chen was not in a hurry to activate the teleportation stone, but first checked the message Hong Jishi sent him. Requirements for admission to Dragon Race Academy. Level requirement. Over level 30. Just the first request made Zhang Chen feel a little surprised. The first thing he thought of was his sister Zhang Ruo. If he wanted to comply with this request. "Sister, have you passed level 30? From the information told by Hong Jishi, Zhang Chen learned that Zhang Ruo had been promoted to level 30 only 3 or 4 months after joining the university. Zhang Ruo rose from level 16 to level 30 in 3 to 4 months. This speed is really amazing. Normally, it takes at least 1 year to move from level 20 to level 30. Unless Zhang Ruo, like Zhang Chen, can challenge the nightmare level copy alone. But such people are rare. Zhang Chen was confused about Zhang Ruo's upgrade speed, so he could only ask in person after seeing her. He really didn't know how Zhang Ruo could rise so quickly in such a short period of time. After checking the level requirements, Zhang Chen continued reading the second requirement. Pass the level 30 copy. Abyss Frontline, the difficulty level requires Hell level. Quote. This requirement seems somewhat difficult. Hell level difficulty is more difficult than Nightmare level. The clearance requirements have comprehensive requirements on occupation, mentality, skills, equipment and skills. It's almost too much for an average team to handle. Only extremely elite teams can pass. When I reach level 30, I can try to challenge it alone. Zhang Chen thought to himself that he had no plans to form a team to challenge that level of difficulty. With the unique characteristics of his profession, solo brushing is the most suitable for his style. The third requirement is that the contribution points must reach 1000. Contribution points are different from ordinary points. Only by completing tasks assigned by the school or doing things that are beneficial to the school can you get contribution points. For example, in this Mermaid Island trial, Zhang Chen can get some contribution points. But he doesn't know exactly how much he will get. Contribution points are essential to get into top colleges. Fang Hongshou once mentioned that the trial is very important to her because if she wants to join a top academy, she must accumulate enough contribution points. These three requirements may seem simple, but in fact they are quite difficult. After Zhang Chen wrote down these requirements, he activated the teleportation stone. There were noisy sounds in his ears, and the school seemed to be particularly lively. The Boneyard copy, normal difficulty, requires a mage of around level 25, preferably good at fire skills. Blood Fight Orc Legion Dungeon, nightmare difficulty, lack of wet nurse, available from level 22 to level 25, requires proficiency in healing, starting with a full set of bronze equipment. Night Tower, nightmare difficulty, a knight above level 30, requires a full set of silver equipment, and masters the blessing skills of teammates. Zhang Chen looked at the environment like a vegetable market and seemed a little uncomfortable. The replica hall is inside the university, but cannot be reached by ordinary methods. Only after passing the review of the Academic Affairs Office and confirming that you are qualified to enter, and then paying 1000 points to purchase a special teleportation stone, can you be eligible to enter. It turns out that Zhang Chen thought that the dungeon palace should be solemn and sacred. But now it looks like a vegetable market. A large number of students are recruiting team members here, sitting on the ground one by one, holding signs and writing down their requirements. At the same time, he shouted a few words from time to time. That appearance is not much different from the entrance to each dungeon. Zhang Chen even doubted that this was really a dungeon palace. Have you come to the wrong place? Looking beyond these people, I saw a huge palace. This is the dungeon palace. Zhang Chen raised his legs and walked in. All the noisy sounds disappeared the moment he entered the copy hall. There were also people speaking in the dungeon hall, but all of them lowered their voices. At the same time, there was a strange sound surrounding my ears in the dungeon hall. Dungeon entrances shaped like whirlpools are distributed in every corner of the palace. The sound comes from these copy entrances. Depending on each copy, the sound delivered will be different. There are hundreds of dungeon entrances like this, and various sounds are intertwined to form a very peculiar sound. There is a crystal ball at the entrance to each instance. The crystal ball explains a series of information such as the name of the copy, level requirements, entry rules, cooling time, etc. When he was in Baiyun No. 1 middle school, Zhang Chen knew that the empire controlled a large amount of dungeon resources. Unexpectedly, Shenlong University also has a large number of copy resources. There are countless copies in this world. It seems reasonable that the first university in the Shenlong Empire controls a layer of dungeon resources. After all, beings like Hong Shen also came from Shenlong University. To be more precise, more than half of the top experts in the Shenlong Empire came from Shenlong University. Above the vortex at the entrance of each copy, there is a light curtain hanging down. The record of this copy is recorded on the light curtain. Zhang Chen observed that only the top 3 were recorded in the light curtain, and only the highest difficulty was recorded. If this copy has a hell difficulty, then only the top 3 in hell difficulty will be recorded. If there was only nightmare difficulty, it would be the top 3 in nightmare difficulty. This includes the clearance time and the names of team members, the level, occupation and other information of each team member. This can also serve as a reference. If other teams want to conquer the dungeon, they can copy the homework. After repeated strategies by other teams, we have found a very good configuration. If you can find something better and set a new record, that's of course better. Such a setting has the meaning of a competitive game. It will make every team want to fight for first place. It is a great honor to appear on the dungeon ranking list. Classmate. A soft voice suddenly came from behind Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen turned around and saw a girl in her early 20s standing behind him. She took a deep breath and gathered her courage. Hello, classmate, is this your first time in the dungeon hall? Zhang Chen nodded. She continued. My name is Chu Yao, and I can introduce you to all the situations in the dungeon hall. There is no free lunch, there is no pie in the sky. Especially in Shenlong University, if you want to gain something, you must give something. Zhang Chen asked, how much? Chu Yao immediately said, 100 points is enough. It could be seen that she was a little nervous. Maybe it's the first time I've done this. 100 points. That doesn't sound like a lot. But points are hard to earn. In fact, 100 points is not too little. Zhang Chen didn't respond for a while. Seeing that Zhang Chen didn't agree, Chu Yao quickly said, 70 points is fine. Just 100. Zhang Chen traded 100 points to Chu Yao. After receiving the points, Chu Yao breathed a long sigh of relief and showed a sweet smile. Thank you, classmate. The main function of the dungeon hall is to lead to each dungeon. In the entire dungeon hall, there are 2 dungeons below level 20, 18 dungeons between level 20 and level 30, and 20 dungeons between level 30 and level 40. The rest are dungeons from level 40 to level 70, there are 52 of them. In addition, there are 2 large dungeons and 1 super large dungeon. A total of 95 copies. A large dungeon is a dungeon with more than 40 people, and a super large dungeon is also called a 100-person dungeon. Zhang Chen asked, what about the dungeons above level 70? Chu Yao shook her head. The dungeons above level 70 are not here. Zhang Chen probably understood. It is estimated that all dungeons above level 70 are managed by the university. It will not be placed in the dungeon hall for people to come and go at will. That kind of copy is a very important resource. The materials and equipment that appear inside are all very useful. Chu Yao continued to talk about the various functions in the dungeon palace. For Zhang Chen, even though it was just some information, he would be able to figure it out sooner or later even without Chu Yao. But having someone explain it can save him a lot of time. The price is only 100 points. He still has more than 130,000 points. 100 points is just a drop in the bucket, it is really insignificant. Each dungeon has a corresponding clearance record. If you can set a new record, you will be rewarded. The entry conditions for dungeons are also different. Most dungeons require that the basic level is up to standard, but some dungeons require an average level. There are also some special dungeons that have requirements for the highest or lowest level in the team. There are many types of copies and different requirements. Zhang Chen asked, are there any dungeons that don't have level requirements? Chu Yao shook her head. It used to be there, but later someone died in it. It was too dangerous, so the school set a level requirement. If you don't have the level, you won't be allowed to enter. There are still many dungeons without level requirements in the wild. There is an essential difference between entering a dungeon through the dungeon hall and a wild dungeon, and the security is completely different. You can exit the copy at any time inside. Once you are in danger, you can choose to leave, which greatly increases safety. Unless you are killed instantly, it is not easy to die. In other words, the money is not wasted. From the level setting of the copy, ranking competition. Zhang Chen saw that the university wanted to train students. From low-level copies to high-level copies, we strive to ensure the safety of students. The students who can enter Shenlong University are all talented people. Losing one of them is enough to make the university feel sad for a long time. Security is naturally important. Therefore, the level of the dungeon has been stipulated, and what level will be included in which copy. Don't be allowed to aim too high. It is indeed the top university in the entire empire, and its reputation is indeed well deserved. Zhang Chen sighed in his heart. It seems that this is the reason why Hong Shen asked him to ask Director Fei for advice before he left. The dungeon hall is indeed a place where he can quickly gain experience. Chu Yao explained these things to Zhang Chen very patiently. Zhang Chen felt that he had spent a little money and got a lot of valuable information. Through her explanation, Zhang Chen had a clearer understanding of the rules of the dungeon hall. Before entering the instance, in addition to meeting the requirements of the instance itself, additional points need to be paid. At Shenlong University, points are everywhere and are the hard currency for almost all transactions and actions. The higher the difficulty of the dungeon, the more points are required, but points can also be used to reduce the cooling time of the dungeon, which means that even if there is no cooling talisman, as long as you have enough points, you can challenge the dungeon repeatedly, thus accelerating the upgrade process. Speed. Zhang Chen felt a sense of surprise in his heart. In this way, his upgrade speed would be even higher. He was envious of the cooling talisman before, but now that there are such rules here, it will save a lot of trouble. Chu Yao brought Zhang Chen to the center of the dungeon hall, where some crystal balls were placed. Chu Yao explained, these crystal balls can go to the mission center and the team recruitment center respectively. The mission center has many tasks, which mainly involve collecting materials, equipment and some special items in the dungeon. She went on to explain, you can earn points by completing tasks, or you can post tasks yourself and ask others to provide the required materials and props. Chu Yao then introduced the Team Recruitment Center. The Team Recruitment Center is a place used to form teams. You can post recruitment information and join other teams. These two functions are very useful in college life, but both require points to operate. Whether it is the Mission Center or the Team Recruitment Center, points are required, and the points earned after completing the mission will also be drawn. Posting a team recruitment requires points, but joining a team does not require points. In Shenlong University, points are everywhere and are an essential resource for dungeons and school activities. They are the hard currency of transcendent level. Chu Yao explained the situation of the dungeon hall in detail. In more than half an hour, Zhang Chen had a deep understanding of the unclear things. Sure enough, professional things should be left to professionals, and these 100 points are indeed well worth the money. At this time, Zhang Chen's communicator vibrated, and he received 50 contribution points, which he obtained in the Mermaid Island trial. Although not much, it is still some distance away from the 1,000 contribution points required to join Dragon Race Academy. Zhang Chen asked curiously, how are contribution points obtained? Chu Yao asked, are you referring to the university's contribution points? Zhang Chen nodded. Chu Yao explained, there are limited ways to obtain contribution points. Participating in trials organized by the university is one of the ways. You can also obtain contribution points by completing tasks assigned by the school. She continued, in the task center, there are tasks issued by the university, which can be completed to earn a certain number of contribution points. But these tasks are in high demand and are quickly completed by others once posted. Everyone wants to get contribution points. If you want to join the academy, contribution points are necessary. Zhang Chen checked the mission center. There are indeed several assignments issued by universities. However, the contribution points you can get for completing tasks are very few. Usually it's 2 points or 3 points, and the most points for a task are only 10 points. It's hard to get contribution points. Zhang Chen suddenly felt that he could get 50 contribution points, which was a lot. It is estimated that Fang Hongshou and others will not get more contribution points than themselves. The communicator rang. After the call was connected, Zhang Yang's excited voice came out. Zhang Chen, how many contribution points did you get? I got 20 points. I made a lot of money this time. Sister Hongshou got 30 points, she was so happy. Zhang Chen said softly, 50 points. All go. Sister Hongshou is right, you must be the one with the most points. Good boy, get 50 points at a time, and you've given me several missions. If there is a trial mission in the future, I will definitely team up with you, and I will support you. Zhang Yang talked excitedly over there for a long time before turning off the communication. Chu Yao was already stunned. You can actually get 50 contribution points in one trial mission. Contribution points are very hard to get. Not only Chu Yao, but also several people nearby were stunned. What trial tasks can get 50 contribution points? It's not like they haven't done trial missions before, which are usually 5 points and 10 points. Unless they perform particularly well, they may be able to get 20 points. Getting 50 points at once has never been heard of unless it is the high-level trial mission after the second turn. You're lying, how could you have such a high contribution score? I haven't heard of any high-level trial missions recently, and judging from his appearance, his level doesn't seem to be very high. That's right, bragging. Zhang Chen didn't care about the people whispering and said to Chu Yao, "Thank you. 100 points are well spent." Chu Yao quickly shook her head. "You're welcome, you paid for the points, so are you going to find the team to clear the dungeon now?" Zhang Chen came to a copy. Mutated Forest, level 17 copy. The requirement is that professionals between level 15 and level 19 can enter. In the dungeon hall, there are only 2 low-level dungeons below level 20. The Mutated Forest copy is one of them. It takes 10 points to enter the dungeon, and 40 points to eliminate the dungeon's cooldown time. The previous record for this instance was 58 minutes, set 3 years ago. The record-setting team consisted of 5 people. A knight, a prophet, and 3 mages. Everyone is a level 19 professional. A full set of bronze equipment. The powerful configuration of 3 outputs allows them to advance extremely fast. This record has stood for 3 years and no one can break it. The second place finisher has reached 1 hour and 17 minutes, nearly 20 minutes slower than them. Zhang Chen paid 10 points, chose Nightmare difficulty and teleported into the dungeon. Seeing that Zhang Chen actually entered the low-level dungeon, the people in the dungeon hall immediately exploded. "I'll go, I thought it was the big boss from somewhere. It turns out he's just a little guy who's less than level 20. That's right, why are you pretending to be a big-tailed wolf here? A trial mission gets 50 contribution points. I think it's 50 points. But he is very brave to clear the dungeon by himself. Haha, maybe he will come out in despair after a while." A group of people didn't believe what Zhang Chen just said. Getting 50 contribution points in a trial mission was simply a fantasy. Now seeing that Zhang Chen actually entered the low-level dungeon, they couldn't help but laugh at him. I feel that Zhang Chen is just telling lies. However, Chu Yao felt that Zhang Chen was not talking nonsense. Zhang Chen gave her a very strange feeling. It seemed that he was full of confidence and had the illusion of strategizing. Perhaps what he said is true. This idea came to Chu Yao's heart, and even she was shocked. 50 contribution points, how good your performance is to get this. She couldn't even think about it. Zhang Chen found himself in an ancient forest. The wind rustled the leaves. Underfoot is a thick layer of dead leaves. It seemed like no one had set foot there for countless years. From time to time, the roars of wild beasts can be heard in the forest, which is frightening. Standing outside the forest, you can see wild animals wandering in the forest. In the mutated forest, the beasts inside are affected by mysterious forces and mutate. The beast turned into a terrible beast. There are bears, tigers, wolves and all kinds of ferocious beasts. In addition to what is visible to the naked eye, there are also some hidden among the trees, such as various snakes and mutated insects. If you are not careful in the forest, you will be attacked by surprise. Break records and get rewarded. Zhang Chen thought for a moment. A large number of skeleton warriors appeared around them, a total of 108 skeleton warriors, not one of them was missing. The skeleton warrior who was injured by the Mermaid Queen has now fully recovered. Let's go. The skeleton warrior rushed into the mutated forest with a unique clicking sound. Mutated grizzly bear, enhanced elite monster. Level 17 inches. Power 1400. Agility 1000. Spirit 500 inches. Physique 1600. Skill roar attack. There are other monsters. Mutated white tiger, enhanced elite monster. Level 18 inches. Power 1700. Agility 1500. Spirit 400 inches. Physique 1500. Skill roar. Use the detection technique to continuously check the attributes of the 2 ferocious beasts. Compared with the skeleton warrior's 4-dimensional attributes of up to 5400, there is no comparison at all. The skeleton warrior rushed into the forest like a tiger into a herd of sheep, rampaging all the way. Each monster can be killed directly with up to 3 swords. Kill the level 17 mutant grizzly bear, experience plus 6000. Obtain animal skin by 5 inches. Kill the level 18 mutated white tiger, experience plus 7000. Obtain animal skin x4. Prompt to refresh the screen. The experience value increases steadily. The experience value progress bar on the interface is also rising crazily. I don't know how much experience will be gained after completing the dungeon. Zhang Chen is also full of endless expectations for this dungeon trip. After sweeping a distance, Zhang Chen had gradually adapted to the environment in the dungeon. When following the skeleton army to transmigrate into the dangerous mutant forest, Zhang Chen felt relaxed and at ease. He was not as cautious as other professionals in the face of a powerful enemy. Although the forest is filled with various monsters, they are widely spread out and pose little threat. Zhang Chen did not ask the skeleton warrior to lure all the monsters together to kill them. Instead, let the skeleton warrior rush over and kill them effortlessly, with 3 swords and 1 sword, or use skills and kill them with 2 swords. The efficiency is quite high. The monsters in these copies are as vulnerable to a blow as the skeleton warriors. He was even a little too lazy to drag the monster's corpse, because the battle ended too quickly, and he had no time to use the corpse explosion skill. The skeleton warrior had already eliminated all the enemies. The skeleton warrior was moving very fast. If Zhang Chen slowed down a little, he would be unable to keep up. In order to keep up, Zhang Chen could only keep trotting behind. Strange, how come I haven't seen any boss monsters after playing for so long? After advancing a long distance, we didn't encounter a single boss monster. The ones we encountered the most were wolves. The skeleton warrior faced the surrounding wolves with a single chop, killing them without any suspense. He originally wanted to use the physical explosion technique, but before he could get close, all the monsters had been destroyed by the skeleton warriors. Zhang Chen felt that in comparison, this dungeon seemed simpler than the previous Death Mine dungeon. However, this dungeon map was extremely large and had no obvious sense of direction. Zhang Chen almost got lost several times. After wandering around the dungeon for half an hour, he finally reached the end of the dungeon. There was a large pool, and several huge ferocious beasts were resting by the pool. Zhang Chen had seen wolves, dogs, and snake dens before, but this was the first time he saw a strange group of tigers and bears. He couldn't help but feel strange. This is so unusual. Mutated ferocious beasts can actually gather together. Could it be that they have wisdom? In front of him, 2 bears and 2 tigers formed the group. These bears and tigers are particularly huge, especially the bears, which stand more than 5 meters tall. Although Zhang Chen was a little surprised, in his opinion, they were just experiences. The skeleton warriors rushed towards these ferocious beasts without hesitation. They had no fighting skills at all, only the simplest and roughest way to kill them. He didn't even have time to use the detection technique. These bears and tigers had already fallen under the swords and axes of the skeleton warriors. Suddenly, a huge column of water surged up from the pool, and a huge turtle-like beast crawled out of the pool. The turtle's back is covered with thick tortoise shells, like a solid armor. The diameter of the tortoise shell reached more than 5 meters, which was extremely huge. A row of sharp fangs appeared in the turtle's mouth. It also has a long, whip-like tail on its back, which is covered with sharp spikes. The turtle let out a sharp roar after crawling out of the pool. Mutated turtle leader level monster. Level 19 inches. Power 4000 inches. Agility 500 inches. Spirit 500 inches. Physique 7000 inches. Skills: bite, sweep, transcendent level defense. This B0SS has a high transcendent level, surpassing that of the skeleton warrior and even higher than the level 24 mermaid queen. Such a high physical attribute means that its vitality and defense are very strong. The power is slightly weaker, but it should not be underestimated. It can also cause damage to skeleton warriors. While Zhang Chen was checking the attributes of the mutated turtle, skeleton warriors had already surrounded him. The broadsword fell on the turtle shell, making a sound like iron. The turtle bit the skeleton warrior hard with its teeth, and at the same time, its long tail whipped the skeleton warrior like a whip. There was a huge difference in body shape between the two sides. The skeleton warrior was hit by its tail. Although he did not suffer any injuries, unfortunately, the huge force still knocked the skeleton warrior away. The tail is usually tucked into the tortoise shell, but once it starts to whip people, it is fully extended. The tail is very long, at least 10 meters. Every time he hits, several skeleton warriors can be drawn out. The skeleton warrior jumped on it and kept slashing at the turtle shell with a machete. Its physique is too high, and its defense and vitality are extremely powerful. The attack fell on it, and the damage caused to it was not great. Agility and spirit are too low. No matter how high your strength is, it's useless if you can't hit anyone. Zhang Chen's palms glowed red. Skill, slowing curse. A piece of red light fell like a big net. A red yolk pattern appeared on the head of the mutated turtle. The speed is greatly reduced under the curse. The mutated turtle's attack frequency has doubled, and it looks like it is slowing down. It seems to realize that its situation is not good. His whole body simply retracted into the turtle shell. A shimmering light emanates from the body. Skill, super defense. In the dim light, Zhang Chen saw that its wounds were recovering quickly. The skeleton warrior could do some damage to it just now, but now he can't even do any damage. Even the injuries caused before are recovering. Super high physical attributes, plus skill bonuses. The mutated turtle has now transformed into an iron wall. There must be something I overlooked. Zhang Chen thought. If he can't even defeat his skeleton warriors, there's no way he can impress other professions. Then how did others pass the copy? Zhang Chen suddenly understood what the problem was. Among the top 3 teams, the output positions are all legal professions. There is no melee, archer or other physical profession. It's afraid of elemental attacks. Flames suddenly appeared in his palms. Skill, soul burn. A flame also appeared on the head of the mutated turtle. The flames quickly engulfed its body. The mutated dragon beast that was originally motionless began to struggle violently, and at the same time it burst into earth-shaking screams. After all, Zhang Chen is also a legal profession. He has the super physical attack power of the skeleton warrior, and the attack power of his own legal skills is also very impressive. What's more, it is a mental attack that has been enhanced to level 20 and ignores defense. It is more terrifying than the elemental attack of the elemental mage. Zhang Chen found it effective and continued to use soul burn. The mutated turtle screamed continuously, and the huge turtle's body was shaking. It finally couldn't help but attempt to rush over and attack Zhang Chen. But the skeleton warrior blocked it firmly and didn't give it any chance. When it stretched out its head and feet, the skeleton warrior took the opportunity to avoid the turtle shell and waved towards its head and feet. Red light emitted from the skeleton warrior's sword and his skills were activated. Flesh and blood flew everywhere for a while. The mutated turtle screamed even more violently. Zhang Chen used soul burn again and again, and his mental power was being consumed rapidly. He took out a bottle of primary spirit divine medicine and drank it directly to replenish his mental power. The mutant turtle's vitality was so strong that Zhang Chen felt that he might not be able to kill it even if he exhausted his mental power. Then you will be back to the starting point. Suddenly he thought of a way. Turn it over. After giving the order, the skeleton warriors immediately used their strength together. Huge power exploded in concentration, and the mutated turtle was turned over with a bang. The soft flesh on the belly was immediately exposed. Without the protection of the turtle shell, the skeleton warrior has a place to use, and every knife can cause considerable damage. The mutated turtle kept struggling, but no matter how hard it struggled, it couldn't turn itself over again. Blood flowed all over the ground and dyed the pool red. The mutant turtle's struggle became increasingly weak. After the skeleton warriors continued to attack for 3 minutes, the mutant turtle was finally killed. Kill the mutated turtle. Experience plus 56,700. Get Azure Bronze level weapon, Turtle Gloves. Obtain Azure Bronze level armor, Turtle Heavy Armor. Obtain low-level Monster Core, Turtle Gloves. Azure Bronze level, Strength plus 20, Constitution plus 20, Boxer skill power increased by 6 care of, available after level 12 inches. Heavy Turtle Armor. Azure Bronze level, Constitution plus 30, Defense skill power increased by 6 care of, available after level 12 inches. Zhang Chen just glanced at the 2 pieces of bronze equipment and put them away. After looking at the experience, after completing the entire dungeon, the experience value increased from 32.57 care of to 67 care of, which was almost an increase of less than 35 care of. Refresh it once more to reach level 18. When Zhang Chen successfully killed the mutated turtle, the bells in the dungeon hall suddenly rang. The bells resounded throughout the entire dungeon hall. 3 blasts in a row. Everyone inside and outside the palace heard it. Here I go, someone has set a new copy record. There hasn't been a new record for a long time. Go and see who the big boss is, so you can hug him in the future. I didn't see any elite team entering this just now. It's really strange. For a while, no one shouted. People outside the hall poured in one after another. Fortunately, the hall was large enough, and it was still respectful even after accommodating hundreds of people. On the mutated forest copy, the light curtain was emitting brilliant light, and everyone in the hall was attracted by these lights. A brand new record has appeared on it. Record breaking. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.